Yeah, we're live right now.
Oh
We just
yeah,
got done with the trolling of a lifetime. We
yeah,
got
sweet
trolled the fuck
thing.
out.
Yeah,
That shit was
yo,
funny. I give you
Yeah,
credit. It was
what's
funny.
up? We had to cut it. It was funny, but yeah, what's up? Xbox Uprising, and he bought the most powerful gamer in the universe.
wow, that just
I
I just felt like the most powerful game. You got talk about troll, bro.
had to do that for you, man.
Yes, YouTube. Hello, hello, once again. Thank you, Jay, for inviting us. We're more than glad to be here with you in this
Yeah, yeah.
momentous and wonderful evening. Uh, we got
Wonderful.
we got a couple of topics to talk about. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get hot
Yeah,
real quick, real fast. But yeah, no, seriously, thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
yeah, but I do want to thank the Sony fan that joined earlier. Who
Oh, that was
was
epic.
definitely he's a
Oh
super
my
fan of
god.
he's a super fan of gay porn. He wanted to share it with us, and
Yes,
we're glad he
see,
did.
Yeah.
this
You
goes to show
know,
you how bad these Sony fans are, man. That's all I can tell you.
Right, right.
They are terrible, dude.
Basic.
I don't
you
want to
know.
pass
Wait, you guys
judgment
hear
on.
me?
Yeah, I
Yeah, we
mean,
get you, but it's
to
real
be
fast.
honest, myself, I wouldn't even look at something like that long enough to even troll somebody with it. But the fact that you can actually, watch things like that, then upload things like that, then download things like that, and then
That's a
put
lot.
things like that on other people's shit. I
It's,
mean, man, you like looking at things like that. That's
yeah,
awesome, man. Good
that's
for
a,
you.
yes, sir. Says a lot, doesn't it?
Says a lot, we know what the
Right,
Sony fan
right.
base is into. So on with the topic. So what we were talking about before we got interrupted was like
Well, let's
Shenmue,
start all over.
Shenmue
Let's start
3.
it all over.
Shenmue 3.
Hit us hard,
Yeah,
Jay. Hit us hard, Jay. Hit us hard. What do you
So,
want to know?
the first topic of the day is the infamous Shenmue 3. Let's start this off with Hebot, since he's the biggest Sega head I know. Next to Sega Forever.
Okay, and shout outs
What
to
are your
Sega
thoughts?
Forever. Shout out to everybody doing podcasts today. I feel like everybody's standing on the welfare line tonight because of the topic we're talking about, which we'll get to soon. But anyway, yeah, well, Shenmue. Oh wow. Well, my thoughts about Shenmue are pretty much stand the same, man. I think that the way it was presented by Sony on their stage was distasteful, um, nonetheless. But they did it. It's already done. It can't be changed now. They try to make themselves look like the hero, and to some extent, it has worked. Even though some people called them out on their distastefulness and their bullshit, saying why they didn't just fund the game from the very beginning. I don't think they're capable of doing that because they probably have a lot of financial problems that they can't really, share at the moment. But to Shemu's credit, um, with the amount of money that they were able to um, acquire, I don't. I mean, I don't know if they'll be able to pull off the level of quality that they did when they brought it out for Dreamcast in that era. Granted, I do know that the tools they use now for games and the tools that they use now for making and developing video games is a lot different, a lot more expensive. So with that being said, maybe if he uses the same type of style with just better graphics, the game can come out the same way that it did on Dreamcast, just with prettier graphics, but not as intricate as it probably deserves. And maybe that's Suzuki's old goal all along. Maybe he doesn't really want it to be a AAA title. We don't know. There's a lot to be answered still. But then why would they have the? Some people say, well, why they had the crowdfunding up to 10
it's not
million,
games anymore.
and he didn't make it to the 10 million. Now, couldn't the game? Does that mean the game will be crap? Maybe not. I just don't think that no matter how hard he tries with that type of money that he raised, it's going to be the to the quality that it deserves, especially based on the legacy that it has established throughout the years on Dreamcast and since it was originally released. So, take it away, Jay.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is similar to that. I mean, and not to mention, how revolutionary the game was, and not to mention it did things that hasn't been done to this date. Like I said, previously, as far as AI goes, each person had their own regimen, their own cycle. They some of them went to work, some of them opened up shop, and like if you followed a person in the town, they actually had it seemed like they had a life. Like they don't do this in games today. If you notice, they randomly generate AIs that just wander in and then they wander out and disappear. This game wasn't like that. And not only that, it had changing seasons. There were just so many things to Shenmue that made it
Special.
yeah, that made it special. I doubt they could replicate in as little of a budget as they're trying to make it with. That's the problem. I'd love to see the game reach the budget that it deserves, which is probably 100 million or more. At the time it was made, yeah, I mean, that's the truth though. If at the time that it was made, it was the most expensive game ever made. You can compare it with the Halos of today, the GTA's of today, other great games, and the thing is,
Yes.
I only want to see it treated that way. I don't want to see it treated as a Kickstarter. I don't want to see it treated as an indie title.
Well, it deserves no less.
Right,
Deserves no
right. Yeah,
less.
yeah. And I think to Sony, it's like a trophy. It's like, hey, this is what we did to Sega. We've got them begging for games. To bring Sega begging for money on their stage, to me, I feel it was just an insult. I mean, and that's probably what makes Sony fans excited about it. They're like, this just shows how Sony came out and dominated over Sega, and now Sega, is out here on stage, and the thing is and I understand Kickstarters as far as like if it's a small indie company that doesn't have money, but the thing is Sony has the money. Sony had the money to make this game. You don't see Microsoft coming out going, hey, you want the next fucking Gears of War, give us money. That's just fucking stupid.
Right.
I mean, this is a triple A game. No, I mean, this is one of the this marks the fucking occasion of triple A. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this was like one of the first true games that showed that games could have multi-million-dollar budgets and could actually fulfill like an artistic dream that this guy had. This guy, had a lot of vision when he made this game.
Right.
And he had a lot going when he made it. And I know that it got condensed over the years into several smaller games and into what it is now. I'd actually like it to see. I'd like to see it reform to its episodic origins. But I don't know. That's the thing, is that you can't expect to ask people for money for something if you haven't even given us a good outline of what we are buying.
Let me add to that.
I've heard everything from QTE game to fucking. I mean, the thing is it was an open world game. It was ahead of its time, and it had a budget like no other game when it released. It should be no different today. Releasing a game like that today with a Kickstarter it's fucking stupid, man. And yeah, it's fucking stupid. And on top of that, it's an insult. It's an insult to Shenmue. It's an insult to Sega. All around, it's an insult to this. Yeah, it's an insult to gaming. Insult to the fans of Shenmue. And the thing is like I said, wasn't it Microsoft is the only reason that Shenmue 2 even got made, right?
Nah, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't Microsoft.
Want me to tell you the story of why Shenmue 2
yeah,
was on
because
the
I'd like
Xbox?
to know why Shenmue 2 was only on the Xbox original, because
it was on Dreamcast too. But
yeah,
only in Europe and Japan.
But only in Europe and Japan. But Jaylon can tell you the story. Go ahead, Jay, say it.
Because all right, we all know Japanese people. They're very proud. They're very nationalistic. But they only support American products is when we offer them something that they don't have, or that a Japanese manufacturer doesn't make, like iPhone or Windows.
That's a good point.
what's it called? He wanted to make the game for the Dreamcast, and when that game got around to release, it was 2001. We all know what happened to the Dreamcast in 2001. It unfortunately crashed and burned because of the success of the PlayStation 2 and Sony's propaganda. We all know that.
Well,
Yeah.
they had
In
that.
Europe,
They had that fire still going from PS1, so people were just already brainwashed that they were the best console, right?
Well, I
uh,
just heard, and here's the thing: is like I had a lot to say about it before, but the newest thing that came about was the mention of the Kickstarter reaching 100,000. Have you heard about this? So what I'm hearing is right now, at the budget that this game is at, it's not going to be the Shenmue title that is
deserves
going
to
to. Right, it's not going to be the Shenmue title that is deserving of the title. It's going to be some like really quick way to sum up the rest of the fucking game.
Now, how about this?
Well, they mentioned recently that if the game reaches 100 million, it could be open world. So
No,
the game is going to have
it
to
was
reach
it was 10
100.
million.
It was 10
It
million.
was 10 million.
Yeah.
Was it 10 million? I
Yeah,
heard
10
100 million.
Yeah, 10 million.
Well, I was like, well, 100 million is more acceptable to me. That's what I think of when I think of Shenmue.
Right.
In today, like I said, in today's standards, it should be $100 million AAA exclusive. It shouldn't
Look,
be a Kickstarter or an indie game.
in my opinion, like you said before, it should be up there with GTA and The Witcher. And The Witcher cost 35 to 60 million, around there to make.
Mm-hmm. So 100,
And now they only have 6 million.
so 100 million is really not unrealistic, to be honest.
No.
Nah.
Now,
GTA
it's
was
not.
around there.
I have a thought, and I want to get you guys' opinion.
Well, if they be more clear and precise about what consoles it's going to launch on,
Well,
what their plans are, and
the-
everything like that.
The problem with
But-
that, though, Chief, is I feel, like I told Jay when we did the podcast like a while back, that you were unfortunately weren't able to join us, is that I feel that Yu Suzuki did not want this game on an American console.
Yeah.
That's just the way I feel about
Well,
Mhm.
yeah.
it. He
Wait,
had...
let me after this, let me explain the OG Xbox version when you're
Okay.
done with your what you're
Okay,
gonna say.
now my thought is this. They can possibly get away with it if
Mhm.
they made it into maybe 2 episodes first and make it episodic, but do it really high quality, right?
Mhm.
Wait for the sales, and then once he gets those sales, people support it and buy it, but bring it out to multiple consoles, not just PS4, bringing it out for the Xbox as well. And then with the revenues he makes out of that, continue the saga and continue to make the rest of the game. This way, they can probably pull it off
Mhm.
because it seems more feasible. But I don't think that's the way and the route he's gonna go on. You know what I mean? But he did say he had like, what was it, 17 more episodes he wanted to do in the Dreamcast. Remember, Jay?
I believe it was 18 first.
18.
Like Shenmue was supposedly 18, but then I think he dropped it down to 7, I believe.
Oh, okay. So it's,
I'm not 100%.
if he
Yeah.
takes that approach, he might be able to pull it off and get away with it with only the 6 mil that he may have now.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
But go ahead,
Well-
finish what you were gonna say.
All right, so it released on the Dreamcast in Europe and Japan, and it did not sell that well. It sold at like 100,000 copies or some shit because everyone moved on to the PS2, and the sales plummeted dramatically because I believe in Japan and Europe combined, the first one sold like 500,000 or some shit, but the sales dropped all the way to 100,000. And Peter Moore, he realized, hey, what's it called? The Dreamcast, that's pretty much dead. Look what happened to the European version. Let me bring it to the Xbox, the Americans.
Yeah.
But what turns out, the reason he did that, one of the reasons was so he could kiss Microsoft's ass and get a job as the Xbox head, because he was running for the position for the Xbox. So he gave that as like a favor. So I guess the Japanese people who worked at Sega found that as like a slap in the face. Like he put Shenmue there not because he wanted it, and Yu Suzuki didn't want it. He had no intentions of it. But they only did it because so Peter Moore could just ditch him at the end. So I think Yu Suzuki's bitter about that. So that's why he went to PlayStation.
It is a slap in the face to gamers. It's a slap in the face to Shenmue fans. It's a slap in the face to gamers. And to Sega, because I mean, let's be honest. I really feel like it comes to nationality when it comes to why they produced this game, or why, you know. If you think about it, Microsoft has offered. They have said I'm pretty sure that I'm right that Microsoft has said that they would love to have Shenmue. Am I right?
Yeah, in the past.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the #1 requested game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's all I see here. I see that this company would rather bow down and beg to their audience and just, to me, like I said, it's nothing but a show of dominance by Sony, to show how they dominated Sega, to put Sega out there like that, to put them on the stage and have them beg for one of the biggest games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chief, I don't know if you know, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I don't know if you know, Yu Suzuki bought the IP and all of his other IPs from Sega just a couple of years ago. So Sega had nothing to do with it. And I think that's why
he
Sega,
went to Sony themselves.
Right.
He went to Yoshida himself.
And I think that's why Sega didn't make the deal with Microsoft, because of Yu Suzuki. As a matter of fact, me and J Long pointed out, and it was true. And that's what, around the same time he bought it, that once he bought the IP, his IPs from Sega, they took out multiple Sega games out of Xbox Marketplace for the 360. One of them being Afterburner Climax, and the other being Outrun Arcade, you know, which I think was called Coast to Coast. And
which were good.
But those were his IPs too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this, but I believe both of those two titles are still available on the PSN network. On PS3.
I'm not 100% on that, but that could be a possibility.
On PS3,
because a lot of Japanese developers took their games off of the Xbox Marketplace and left them on the PlayStation Marketplace, so I wouldn't put it past it.
So, if this is true, this is more than proof positive that Yu Suzuki did not want it on Xbox, because it's console. You know what I mean?
And again, like I said, it all amounts to like I said, I feel like it all amounts to humiliating their recent competition and doing it on stage. A lot of people don't understand this. They don't understand Japanese culture and shit. But I don't got all day to fucking explain it to them. But let me just say this: if you don't get it, I'm just gonna tell you right now, it was a disrespectful show. It was terrible, and I really hope the best for Shenmue. I don't care what platform it comes on. I hope it comes out and it finishes what it started. I hope as a game it can live up to the ambition that it had, because it had a lot of it. I mean, if you didn't grow up in early on in Dreamcast and play Shenmue, you really, it's hard to explain what this game did. Well, it's not really. If you go back and play it, you can see. But I mean, still, games to this day have yet to really reach that level of immersion. And this guy had I mean, this guy's an artist. The guy who created Shenmue, he had a vision. And like I said, it started out as like a 22 episode. It was going to be huge. It was going to be over 20 episodes. Oh, was it 18? Okay, I knew it was a ridiculous amount of episodes. And I think the way they plan on releasing it was like on monthly basis or something like that, or was it? I can't even remember. It was a long time ago, but
I'm not even sure, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was originally a Sega Saturn game, and if you've ever seen, if you look it up right now, look up Shenmue Sega
really
Saturn.
That's when
it looked good.
It
looked great for Sega Saturn. Yeah. But you know, like I said, it was a great game. It had a lot going for it. It was a game ahead of its time. I don't know what it would look like. I mean, if you were to like make a think about it this way, okay? Um, for us growing up, Shenmue was like Grand Theft Auto is, or like Halo is,
Hmm.
or whatever
Yeah.
you know, whatever
The
you,
I put it.
standard.
whatever,
I compare it
yeah,
more to L.A. Noir. L.A.
or
Noir has a lot more
yeah, yeah.
similarities
If you,
to
yeah,
Shenmue than
Yeah, I
just
agree. I agree with you, Jay. But I think he's talking about
scale. The
well,
scale.
the
well,
scale and love
but
that
I understand what
gamers
he's saying
have
though. With L.A. Noire,
for
it's
franchise.
about the ambition. It's
Yeah,
about
yeah,
wanting to do. It's
absolutely.
about not. It's about not only wanting to make games, you know, more believable and more immersive in their
Hmm.
worlds that you explore, but also at the same time, like he said with L.A. Noire, to go out and do something fucking new, something that
Yeah.
nobody's ever done.
Hmm.
And I don't think with a fucking Kickstarter budget and
Fuck no.
with any budget, this game is gonna do anything. I
Yeah.
feel like it's just gonna be a fucking Telltale game. That's what I
Look,
want.
guys.
That's what I feel like they're gonna do to it. Is turn it into a fucking Telltale quick time
But
event, choose your own adventure
look, man.
bullshit. You know, and if we gotta donate 100 million games to make this I mean, $100 million to make this game. I got headphones on. I can't hear myself, so sorry about that.
Okay.
$100 million to make this game, or 40 million, or whatever that you think that it might need to make it what it needs to be. I say, you know, and not only that, without here's the thing is without any clear what did they given us? What have they told us as far as like you know what they plan on it, you know, doing with it? They haven't said what type of game it's going to be. I heard something about I thought it was you said 10 million. It can be open world.
Well,
So they got to
Yeah.
reach.
they said that it was
Yeah.
open world.
Mhm.
I believe multi-console, meaning Xbox One as well. And I believe only the PS4 fans would get the privilege to have it a physical copy of it.
The
Mhm.
game is the real game is only $30, by the way. So
Okay.
Okay.
look, I haven't really given my thoughts on the game, so let me just do that now. I guess real quickly, you
Mhm.
guys got. Let me guess. You guys were older when you played this game. You guys were old
Yeah.
enough to understand the game. When this game came out, I was on the 64 playing
Yeah.
Mario
Because
and Mario
if
Kart.
you
I
go
was too
back,
young
if
for a
yeah,
game as complex as Shenmue.
yeah,
Okay.
I
and
didn't play
Okay.
this
if you
until
go
I was
back and
older, and
play
my
it
cousin
right.
gave me his Dreamcast years later. I
Okay.
played it, and I realized, hey, this is a very advanced game for its time.
Right.
And
Mhm.
I just beat the game yesterday again for the second time. I
Okay.
haven't played it in years. And I just realized, wow, this game from 2000 on the Dreamcast looks
Does
better
things
than
games
some of the
don't do
games
now.
that came out on the PS2.
Mhm.
Right.
The game looks
Right.
better than Final Fantasy X that came out a year after on the PS2.
Right.
Looks
Right.
Yeah.
better than a lot of PS2 games, and it's doing things that games don't do now. Like Chief said,
Right.
when it
Right.
when it rained, certain people would have the umbrella depending on their
Right.
personality, like normal
Right.
people. But then you get the blue collar workers. They didn't give a fuck about rain. So you
Right.
see the blue collar workers not working with
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
Some people would lie to you and
there
say,
was
"Oh,
a
I have
lot
something to do."
there were
There's a lot of little nuances, like
a
the
lot of
what's it called
subliminal
the
Yeah. The AI in Shenmue
yeah,
was
yo, because
still
look, you'd go to
ahead of
someone,
today.
right, and then they'd be like, hey, I can't talk, I'm busy. And some of those
Mhm.
people actually had to go to work. And
right.
some of
Mhm.
those people would straight out lie to you and
Right.
not do
Right.
shit. And
Right.
then some of the people would just straight up tell you, fuck off. I'm
Right.
And
doing something, or I don't want to talk to you.
you know what else
He
was cool
threw a lot
about?
of subliminal
I tell you,
messages
yeah.
of society in the game too.
Yeah, and I tell you
Yeah,
another thing that was cool too. If you had something, a mission you were progressing towards, and you had a question you had to ask, or you had something you didn't know, you could ask anybody, and they would tell you what they knew. That was
yeah,
amazing, you know. Like I just don't know how to explain it. The games
yeah,
today have not accomplished what Shenmue did how many ever years back it was when it came out, and then that's the thing that people need to understand. Not just as far as like seasons changing, but and
real
open
time
world
live.
games go, but in real time weather, but
That was the
just the
first thing this
AI.
is.
Yeah, just
Yep.
the AI, the scripting, the detail. I mean, this game was created by a true artist that had a vision and it's sad that his vision never got, it never got fulfilled. And here's the thing that the people need to know. Okay, if you're interested in Shenmue and you want to know why it never made it, well, you can Sony for that. So the same company that
That pretty much destroyed it.
right,
Yeah,
right, the same company that has them out e-begging for
destroyed it.
money to make the game is the
We're
same
the ones
company that
responsible
destroyed
for
it
making the change.
without
Right.
yeah, exactly. And they came out, you know how they did it, instead of having original content, original games or anything good to play, they came out fucking with a bunch of fucking rehashed copies of everything else. I mean, all the fucking games that Sony initially released with, we're talking are as plain as possible. Were literally just nothing. Like if you compare the games that Sony released as AAA titles or exclusives in that time period, compared to other games of the same time period. I mean, look at Nintendo 64's Mario 64 and
And
compare
then look
that to
at Crash
Crash
Bandicoot.
Bandicoot.
Crash sucks
You will
balls
know.
compared to Mario.
Yes.
Mm-hmm,
Thank
mm-hmm.
you.
It
You will
sucks
know that.
balls.
Right.
See,
But yeah.
here's the thing also. If you remember very, 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 very carefully, and if you were a true, not gamer, but a real Sega fan, and shout out to Sega Forever, or Xbox All In, I think it is.
Yeah.
Sega Forever. Because a great impersonation there, J-Lo. Because we were trying to get him to join us, but it's very hard because he lives in Hawaii, I believe,
Hawaii.
and it's like
Yeah.
a 6-hour difference. But he's a
Yeah.
Sega fan himself, and I would love to get him in here, but we're gonna try to do something with him soon. But here's the
Yeah.
thing: anybody that was a real Sega fan, right? Fan at that time, I remember when I went to buy my Dreamcast, and I don't know if it was the same experience for you, Chief. But Jay, I'm sorry because you were probably not even probably weren't even born. You were just a little kid back then. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was a
I
kid.
don't know. Okay, maybe like 6 or 5, right? I'm assuming.
Oh, something like that. I don't remember when it came
Okay,
out.
okay. When I went and I bought Dreamcast, even when it was announced the year before, that everybody knew it was coming, and they were so excited about it. The first and most annoying thing I heard every time, it was kind of like what it is now with the false information about the PS4 when they say, "Oh, it's got better resolution, it's more powerful, it's got better AAAs, it's got better indies," when all of it is a falsified lie. Period. And anybody with any logic knows this. Um, at that point, I remember going into stores like Babbage's, EA, Electronic Boutiques, Funkoland, to just name a few.
Mhm.
Um, and I was like, yo, Dreamcast, man, you're going to get it? It's going to be, like, really good, man. They got these great arcade titles, remade games from scratch, like sequels like Echo the Dolphin in the works. Man, I can't wait. I'm excited. Even a new
Yeah.
Castlevania, and even a Shakan the Forever Man, which that was one of my favorite Genesis games.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome game. And the first thing you would hear from the Sony fans all the time was, "Ah, I'm not buying a Dreamcast. You crazy. I'm
Yeah.
going to wait
Mhm.
for a whole year, and then I'll buy the PS2, because that's going to be more powerful than the Dreamcast." And even at that point in time, they were talking about power. They weren't talking about quality of games, because I never understood how quality of games came with power. The only reason
Mhm.
why it's good to have power is to be able to make the game immersive and add more things to the experience. But as far as the graphics, if it has decent graphics, that's good enough. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? As long as the game is good and fun. Now,
Yeah.
even at that point, and we're talking about maybe
1999
15,
was it?
20, 15, 20 years ago, maybe, right?
Yeah, 15 years ago, 16 years
A
ago.
rough guess. A rough guess, okay. And I apologize to the audience, whoever's watching. I know I should have done my homework, but listen, I'm an older guy. I just go as I go. I don't like acting like I'm a
Well,
professional. This is from the
Yeah,
heart.
don't.
Now,
It's not scripted.
exactly. This is from the heart, from personal experience. Those Sony fans were like, "I'm getting a PS2 because it's going to be way more powerful than the Dreamcast." Okay? And in
mhm.
that whole year that Dreamcast was out, all I told those people was, You keep waiting for the greatness of the games, like I do now with the PS4, while I'll be playing games as a fan
Yeah.
of Sega
Yeah.
and game.
Day one, the
And in that,
Dreamcast had great games. The PS2 had to
oh
wait a
yeah,
whole
oh
year.
yeah,
Remember?
dude,
PS2
it launched
wasn't good until Final Fantasy X
dude,
or
it
Metal
launched with
Gear 2.
like 18 titles, and two of those titles was 2K Sports Football and Basketball, which became a behemoth. They still around now. Okay, now, and that's neither here nor there. And like a month later, they had Soul Calibur that
It
looked
launched
better
with
than the
Sonic
arcade.
Adventure, bro.
Sonic Adventure. They had a Soul
Best
Calibur
game
that looked
ever.
better than the arcade. It was the
Yup.
first console that had better arcade graphics for the first time in the game. The very first time ever done. And then
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, it had Hydro Thunder, which was an arcade hit at the time.
Great
It
game.
had Sega Bass Fishing, Zombies Revenge, which is the side story beat 'em up for House of the Dead, which was big on the arcade at the time. And then like a month later, they came out with, or 2 months later, came out with Sword of Berserk, based on the anime and the manga, which is an amazing beat 'em up hack and slash game. One of my favorites to this day. Which I pray to God that Platinum Games makes it, because they said they have interest in making a new one. Please, 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 Platinum Games, please. Kill La Kill be cool too, but Berserk all day.
Nah, Berserk.
Anyway,
Berserk.
that's neither here nor there. And I'm sorry that it sounds like I'm ranting, but the point is, even this is how far the poniness has gone. Since as far as 20 years ago, they were saying the exact same stupid comments that they say now.
Nah, but
It's gonna
remember,
be
the original
more.
Nothing has
Xbox launched and
changed.
they forgot about power, remember?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll get to that.
Look,
But then what happened was, during that time frame, to be honest with you, man, because the Dreamcast lasted longer, I believe in Japan, China, and in Europe. I believe. Don't quote me, but I believe it lasted a little longer, maybe like 3 more years. In America, it was only about a year and a half, and that's it. Sega wrapped it up. They had to go bankrupt, and they went into software business a couple of years later. The point is, during that time, I'm telling you, because I own almost all the games, I still own half the game now. They have better titles than PS2 had within the first 3 years of its life cycle. I believe the PS2 launched with a game called Phantasavision, which was about fireworks.
yeah,
It also,
Fantavision.
yeah, Phantasavision or some crap like that. And then they had another game called Battle to Shinden Arena that was trying to compete with like Virtual Fighter and Soul Calibur, and the freaking game was horrible. It looked like paper cutouts, and the backgrounds looked like paper cutouts. It was horrible.
I think the only decent game at launch was The Bouncer.
And that was
That was the only
okay.
one.
The reason,
That was
why that
decent.
game.
And you know, Battle
and
Arena Toshinden was on the Sega Saturn.
Oh, afterwards, yeah, absolutely, yeah, I know. It was like another game they were just trying to port it over. It was ported, but Bouncer, guess what? Again, same pony behavior. The only reason that game did well was because that game looked like it was like their Rise, but worse. Because at least Rise has quality. It had good graphics for a launch game, but the gameplay was dog dookie. You get what I'm saying? It was a beat 'em up because
Shenmue
one of my
was
favorite
better
genres.
than anything that came out on the PS2 in the first year.
Oh yeah, that's even longer. PS2 didn't have a great game. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna keep it funky. PS2 didn't have a great game until like Devil May Cry 1, and I believe that was 3 years in.
That was 2001, I think.
It was like 2 or 3 years almost into the life cycle of the console.
To me, I'd say Final Fantasy X and Metal Gear Solid 2. That was within the first year. That was like right at the first year mark.
Okay. That's fair. But still, even those games, I don't think match the intricacy of Shenmue.
I'd say Final Fantasy, hell no. Metal Gear, maybe. Because the AI was very smart.
Metal Gear had little trickeries. No, Metal Gear had little trickeries that were cool.
In terms of physics and AI, it was cool, but it wasn't no open world game.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't as ambitious as it
No,
should.
hell no.
It
was just more of the same, but in the next gen.
Right. And it's a shame. It's a shame because, okay, like I said, and I agree with Chief. Even if the game comes out for PS4, okay, the reason why I'm mentioning the story about the Dreamcast eras and the Dreamcast days is because I feel, and I know from experience, that most of those Sony fans never played the game,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
never cared about Sega products,
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
care about the Sega games in general, because they were direct competition with Sony.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude. The only people who are going to be funding this game are Sega fans and people who play Xbox. Because
right,
if you were a
right.
Sega
But
fan, if you were a Sega fan, you were not playing a PlayStation. I can guarantee you that.
well,
If
here's
you're
the thing.
if you're a Nintendo fan, you are not playing a PlayStation. Okay,
Here's the
if
thing.
you are a fan of gaming, you are not playing a PlayStation. That is a fact.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm not a hypocrite. I do own PS3 and I do own two PS2s. The reason why I own two, because one I had it completely modified. I modded it so that I can play European and Japanese games to play Sword of Berserk 2 that only came out in PS2. Now, the reason why I own those two consoles,
Hmm.
the first and foremost reason is because Sega had to survive. And in order for
Yeah.
Sega to survive, they had to make exclusive titles for every platform. And they had a lot of platforms, exclusive games, even on Wii, even on 64,
GameCube.
GameCube, that were only available there from Sega. So I had to jump in and dive into the pool or cesspool, if you will, and bought a console I didn't want to support, but I bought them used or I got them for free, either or. I know that's very scumbag of me, but I don't care. I don't feel they deserve my money. Anyway, but the reason why is because I wanted to support those Sega games and experience them, because I couldn't play them anywhere
Yeah.
else.
Mhm.
Just like I own an Xbox original
Uh huh.
because they have exclusives on Xbox original. But
Yeah, no doubt.
if it wasn't for that, I would never
Well,
own
here
a
I look at it like
PlayStation.
this. Okay, if you've already been suckered in by the hype and you own a PlayStation, there are games coming out. They may not be
Mhm.
great games, but they're games that you can play that you can buy. Um, but if you're like me and you bought a game system based on games instead of hype, you bought the Xbox One, and you already have the fulfillment of games that you want. And put it this way, for me, when it comes to buying a PS4, it's asking myself, do I want to? I mean, I have to ask myself, do I want to spend $400 for this one game? You know, I didn't get suckered in by the hype, so I don't already have one like some of these morons out there. You know, I wait for games to come out that are good, and so
Right.
far there's been nothing out there for the PS4. I mean, nothing. Killzone is horrible. Infamous is horrible. Don't even compare Infamous to fucking Sunset Overdrive. I mean, it's just not even a comparison. Don't even
Well,
compare.
if you play both games, you know the differences. And
They're
a
Yeah,
lot of
completely
people,
different.
yeah.
and a lot of people will
Oh
be like,
no,
"Oh no, Infamous is better," but they never really played Sunset. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
that's why
And
their
yeah,
opinion has no credibility to it. Because, like I
yeah.
said
Let
in the past, there's an educated opinion and there's a non-educated
Right.
opinion. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's got
Now
rockets.
there is, I do know that everybody has different tastes. Yes, I do know that. But
Uh huh.
at the end of the day, the reason why I've kind of followed most of the time, or until this time,
Hmm.
Microsoft's platforms, is because they kind of feel like Sega platforms to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Well,
they
Sony
follow
is the
that
console
model.
for casual gamers. Okay, if you suck at video games and you want a game that plays itself for you, buy the PlayStation. Microsoft understands gamers. Okay, they understand people who play video games, and they allow the developers to make their own decisions. Whereas Sony comes in, steps in, tells developers, "Look, you can't do this, you can't do that. Your game has to be acceptable by everybody. Everybody has to be able to play it, no matter what their fucking skill level."
Well,
Whereas Microsoft
not according to
understands that
Naughty
people
Dog.
have been playing games for a long period of time, and that people don't want to play games that set the fucking industry back hundreds of years. You see what I'm saying?
Let me say
Yeah, I
something
see what you're
about.
saying.
Let me say something quickly about Sony gamers and Shenmue. You know, Sony
They don't.
gamers don't know shit about Shenmue when IGN has to do walkthroughs telling them what it
Yeah.
is. They're seriously doing a walkthrough series.
Yeah.
Never played Shenmue? Here's the first 3 hours of it.
Right.
To let the gamers who have not fucking played the game, who own PlayStation consoles, to just get them up to speed with what's going on.
To get them up to speed.
Have they ever done that with any other game on any other platform?
Do you think anybody else needs to be caught up to speed with Shenmue? No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No other.
A real gamer doesn't need to be caught up to
any other
speed
game
because they already know what's going on with that game. And like I said, that game is not going to make me buy. Oh my God, I'm talking and getting killed. But yeah, I mean that game is like I said, it's only cherished by true gamers, and Sony fans can't even appreciate that game because they've never been true gamers.
They don't know what it is, first and foremost.
They don't even know what it is.
No disrespect to the guy.
They really don't. They're just the only reason they're
they don't.
The only reason they're happy
it was a
to have
fucking
it.
Forest game. He thought Shenmue was a Forest game. My friend, who's
the only reason they are happy to have Shenmue is because they know that it was something that Sega fans liked, and they have it now. And also that you know a lot of Sega fans are now Xbox fans. You know that. Microsoft kind of carried the torch for Sega, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I told Jay when we spoke in the podcast a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, I told him that like a lot of the employers that work at Sega, I think even Phil Collins himself, and Aaron Greenberg at some point, I believe they all worked at Sega. I'm not 100% sure, but I know a lot of them did. I know a lot of them did.
They got their start there.
My problem with it is, if you're going to bring out the game, okay, fine. Sony did a deal. You feel more comfortable with the Japanese market, fine. But be respectful to the gamers, to the game itself. Bring it out on all platforms. Don't gimp nobody.
Right.
Give them the same treatment. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
A lot of the people that don't get to this Kickstarter. Give me one sec, Chief.
Yeah.
Before I forget my train of thought. I guarantee you that some of the people that donated for the Shenmue game are people that are Xbox fans that only like Xbox, but they donate anyway in the hopes that the game will come to Xbox.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's not.
The thing is, look, all right. I hope that it gets $100 million budget, and I hope that it comes to Xbox.
It already
but
finished,
the thing is,
it was at $6 million. The game is gonna be done with a $6 million budget.
$6 million budget.
Yeah.
Well, then I don't care. Then I don't care. To be honest, the story was not really the most compelling thing about Shenmue. The most compelling thing about Shenmue is what you were allowed to do in it, interactive.
Yeah, the immersion of the world, right?
Right, the immersion of the world. The interactivity. So if Sony fans all they're getting is like a watered down version of the ending, then you know what? Let them fucking have that shit. I mean, who the fuck wants to see that? I mean, that's just terrible.
And I agree with you, Chief. But the problem is there's still those fans out there that don't deserve that smack in the face. They don't.
Like I said, it is a smack in the face, and to be honest, like the most what do you call it? A game like Shenmue deserves more than an indie title budget, more than Kickstarter. And the thing is, like I said, with Sony, they have the money to back this game, dude. I mean that's
wasted it on fucking commercials.
This isn't fucking oh god, this isn't fucking, indie territory is what I'm trying to say. Like I could understand it. Kickstarters are for companies who don't have money. Okay?
Startup companies.
Right, for startup companies. What why does Sony think that they should be fucking kickstarting one of the fucking most expensive games ever made?
It was Yu Suzuki.
They did it. Yes, absolutely. But Sony figured if we show it in our stage and it worked in their favor for a little bit, we're going to be looked at as the heroes, the unsung heroes, because we're giving people what they want. We're showing them Shenmue 3 is coming. If we help you help him bring the game. And then we show Final Fantasy VII Remake when everybody forgot just 6 months earlier. They trolled the shit out of all the Sony fans with the remake of the PC version with no kind of upgrades. And the actual developer himself of Final Fantasy, the head in charge that's actually working on Kingdom Hearts 3 right now, and I believe Final Fantasy 15,
2 games at
had
once.
no,
Now there's 3 on his
he
fucking
had,
plate.
exactly, and he had no idea that he was the head director of the game's development when they asked him.
Look,
So
here's what I
the
have to
fuck
say
does
about
that
the
tell you?
fucking. Look, here's what I have to say about this fucking Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3 will be the directed DVD sequel to Shenmue 2.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine if they
It's
made.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean this is the best way I can analogize it. Think about it this way: what if Star Wars was to announce their next Star Wars movie
yeah.
as a direct-to-DVD fucking movie? If you
Right,
get
right.
right, and the
Or
only
Halo.
right,
Or
so
Halo for that matter.
yeah, how do you expect to get any fan excited about that? Would you think Star Wars fans would be excited about a direct-to-DVD release
No.
of Star Wars? No. So do you think Shenmue fans want to fucking
Not the
hear?
real fan.
Right, the real fans do not want to hear some Kickstarter bullshit. And you know what? These wannabe gamers, these fucking, like I said, Johnny come latelys, these fucking, I want to be a gamer. You know, these assholes will fucking like, oh, I played Shenmue. I played the third one.
Look,
No, dude.
how
You know,
many fucking PlayStation gamers could show this? Show me your fucking papers.
right.
Show me your
If
fucking
you're a
papers.
Sony
and
fan,
then,
show
then you
me
can say
your
it.
copy. Exactly.
Show me your papers.
Show me your copy. Show me, you know. And the thing
And
is,
Jay, shout out to you.
I've heard it.
Kind of cool.
Hey, what about this, man? Have you ever heard from anybody who's ever said anything like, hey, I play Shenmue, and they can't tell you anything about it? Like, you don't play that game without remembering shit. I'm gonna
Look,
be honest right now.
ask them how many discs were in the fucking game.
Please.
That
Yeah,
should
yeah,
let you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah. Well,
You know,
I can.
you know what's sad, Jay? Because
What?
I'm not you. Obviously, you're an exception. There are very few of you. Like my sons are the same way. There are very few of you guys. But in your generation, they're really quick to like jump on the hype for everything. Especially like, oh yeah, that's what you get. You know, it's gonna be on our console, and they're not, and not on yours or whatever. But they don't understand in a serious way that these legitimate fans of this franchise, this beloved franchise, have adored this game throughout so many years. They were expecting it for so long. And
Yeah.
a lot of them even cried that are Sony fans, okay? Because I'm not saying that every Sony fan is not a real Sega or Shenmue fan for that matter. No.
Yeah,
That's not what I'm
because I
saying.
mean, you got multi-console owners out there that you know
Right.
buy
But I do
consoles
feel.
no matter
But I
what.
do-
They don't even
Right.
care. But
Exactly.
yeah. Go ahead, man.
I'm sorry, Chief. But the thing is that I know, I guarantee you. I'm not gonna say I know for a fact because I'm not God, but and it's gonna sound stupid out of my mouth, but I could almost guarantee you that most of the fans for Shenmue, the audience for Shenmue,
hmm
are still either on Wii U or Xbox.
Yeah,
I'm almost 100% sure.
absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not- yeah,
More
yeah,
than Sony. You know.
Yeah.
So for that
That's the
reason
thing.
alone,
That's the thing. That reason alone, I get you.
it should be on
That-
all platforms. That's
It
what I'm
should
trying
be.
to
It
say.
should be on.
And by the
Look,
way,
well,
check this
if
out,
the
guys.
game is being funded by the fans, it should be available to all fans.
All through
Number
the
one,
fan.
why would you limit yourself if you're trying to get money from the fans? Why would you limit your fan base? That makes
Yep.
no sense. This has to
Yep.
be something with his Japanese pride.
Right.
They say, oh, he
right.
could have put it on the Wii U. The Wii U can't
Well,
run
And,
Unreal
check,
4. That's
and by
why.
the way, check it out. Here's my copy for people that don't think I own it. Maybe I'm not a
There you
fanboy.
go.
I own the
There
copy.
you go.
Okay. And yes, the disc is inside. Look at this. The disc is in there. You see? It's a
Mhm.
little bit kind of falling apart because the tabs on it are a little broken. But you see,
You guys are making
Menu.
me jealous. I wish I still had
See,
my Shenmue
menu.
copy.
I have
the
the other
effort. It's
the
the
other
effort
side
that
of the
counts,
disc
man.
there.
Yeah.
I believe altogether. No, I'm just selling it because you're gonna have some
Yeah.
people that will see this podcast, and shout out to everybody that does see the podcast and give us some love and show us love and support. But
Yeah.
that just think before they even get to that point where they're like, oh, you know what? They talking all this stuff about Shenmue. I bet you they don't even like they don't even own the game. They never played the game.
Yeah,
They don't know what they're talking about. But guess what?
well,
For
the
all
thing
you
is
doubters,
there's
there it
two
is.
ways. There's two ways to know that you own the game. Either you can either show it or you can know it. There's two ways.
Look at
You can
that.
show it or you
What a
can know it.
Kodak moment. Look at the Kodak moment. Kodak.
There you go.
I should
Yeah.
use the thumbnail
There
right
you
there.
So yeah, Sony fans, show your copy of Shenmue, but otherwise, show your knowledge. I mean, this was a game that, like I said, it was ahead of its time. The AI was ahead of its time. The seasonal changing, the time of day, meeting people in the world, being able to ask anybody the question that you had on your mind. If there was something you had to do, you could ask anybody. And the meta fact of it all, the fact that you could actually go in and buy Sonic the Hedgehog or Virtual Fighter collectibles out of the vending machines. They had toy machines just like in real life. You could go in and put a quarter in, turn the thing, and get a little.
The actual arcade games of Handgun, Space Harrier, and Outrun. As a matter of fact, I think the first one. I'm sorry, Chief. Real quick.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. As a matter of fact, I think part 1 has Handgun and Outrun, and I think in
Space
part
Harrier.
2.
Space Harrier.
Oh, does it have Space Harrier? I think in part 2 they added like 2 more games.
Yeah.
In part 2, I'm not sure which one they were there.
I mean, to be honest, Xbox fans deserve this a sequel to Shenmue more than Sony fans. I don't care if it comes out on PlayStation only. I don't care. What I care about is how much money and how much dedication gets put into it. I don't want to see.
In other words, gotta get the right treatment.
It needs to get the right treatment.
You see this controller. You see the green. You see the blue. You see the red. You see the yellow button. You see the same colors here. You see these colors on the PlayStation controller. Because when I play with the Xbox controller, I feel like it's the next step of the Dreamcast. I don't get that from the PlayStation controller. It will feel like I'm playing it in its home when I'm playing, simply because of the controller.
Yeah.
Sony has no involvement with Shenmue. No Sony fan who's only owned the Sony console has any experience with this game. This game has no affiliation with it.
Right. They have no feeling for it.
Yeah.
Like I said, to me, it feels like the only reason they're excited to have it is like more like a domination thing. It's more like,
because we've had Shenmue 2.
Right.
Xbox gamers have at least had one piece of the pie.
We've at least had
Sony gamers have had
none of it. Yeah.
None of it.
And it's like I said, but the thing is, they're not going to care. If you look at, like, I'll give you another good game, for example, is Splinter Cell. Okay? It was a great game. One of the best games ever, man. And Microsoft, dude, they kept that game exclusive for a while. Well, they brought that game multi-platform. They tried to offer this game to the Sony fans, and they also offered a Splinter Cell, like, what was it, like a fucking collection or some shit.
Yeah.
And the thing is nobody, they didn't buy it, dude. They bragged about it. They talked shit about having it, but did they play it? Did they buy it? Absolutely not. They didn't fucking touch it. And it's going to happen the same way. But, I mean, I can guarantee anybody who has donated money towards the game is going to probably buy it. I mean,
it's definitely not fire.
But
it's definitely not fire.
Look, at $6,000, I mean, what do they got? $6 million, whatever. $6 million.
$6 million.
Fuck, it's not going to be a proper.
Wasn't it 6.3 or something like that?
Same shit, bro.
It's not going to be a proper Shenmue game.
I know. For the fact that they were trying to start the game, for the fact that they were trying to start the Kickstarter at 100,000, then there's another 300,000 in the pot. That's why I'm saying it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look, that .3 isn't gonna make it open world. That point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they weren't far from it, but like, if he would have just went probably to Phil and Microsoft and said, "Listen, you guys are interested," the game would probably gotten like the real treatment, like a AAA style treatment, because they have the money. I mean, and again, you know what? Honestly, at this point, I just feel like we're crying over spoiled milk. I don't want to come off as we're trying to be baby cries, but I feel that this needs to be said. This needs to be said.
As Shenmue fans, dude. I mean,
it needed to be said.
I've played Shenmue 1 and 2 all the way through. And
Mhm.
honestly, I feel Shenmue 1 was far superior to Shenmue 2. I don't know how you feel,
Mhm.
but Shenmue 2 was okay, but I mean the thing is you could definitely feel that something was lost in the second title. The
Right. Well, I feel
inspiration, the
it was
money,
probably
the
rushed. It was probably
yeah,
rushed.
like I said,
And
dude,
also,
it
I never finished the second one, so I can't really give you
well,
a
right.
hardcore analysis and opinion of it. But I didn't finish it, so.
I feel like the creator of this game, he had a lot of passion and he wanted to create something different, and he I mean honestly he was innovating gaming at the time. I don't want to play a game that doesn't feel like it's innovating to that degree. If I'm not playing that, I don't feel like I'm playing Shenmue. Does that make sense at all?
It's
Yeah,
not
If
yeah,
gonna
it's
absolutely.
evolve.
Yeah,
right, right,
yeah, it makes
it's
perfect
not
sense.
if it's not blowing me away beyond the point of Grand Theft Auto, it's not Shenmue. It's just some fucking ghost of itself. It's some sick,
A form.
sad fucking shadow of itself.
It's a former
It's
It's like,
shell of itself.
it's
right.
like a
It's
beta.
right.
It's like a
It's a
beta.
pathetic version of what it could have been. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
Well, I
want to
think
see that.
honestly, what I think he's gonna do.
As a fan, I don't want to see one of my most beloved games turned into a fucking cheap fucking game like that. You know, I just don't.
Right, right.
It's fucking
To be
pisses me
honest,
off thinking about it.
to be honest with you, I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna concentrate
From
more
right.
On the
on the
story.
story.
Well, like I said, hey, let me put it this
Maybe
way,
there won't be
okay?
that much gameplay
Microsoft,
elements.
am I right? Microsoft has offered the money to make this game,
I don't
okay?
know.
Well, I don't know if they
They have
offered it, but
said
I know that they were very verbal that they
that
wanted
they would love to have Shenmue
it. Yeah.
on Xbox, right? Am I right?
That they
They would
asked
love,
it.
Hmm.
They said
Yeah.
that.
Even Phil said it. You know, they asked him in an interview
yeah,
when he first
It's
got the
one of
yeah.
job
the most
about
I
requested
mean,
games.
E3.
and then you
Yeah, and he
have
said, that,
right,
mhm.
and then you have Sony bringing out as a Kickstarter. Okay, if they would have went to Microsoft, Microsoft would have fully funded this game. Is what I'm saying. And
Right. But the thing is, with that,
what strikes me as weird, is the fact that they chose, like I said, like this might have to do with Japanese nationality. This might have to do with national bias. But I'm just saying
mhm.
they chose to go with the people that were saying, hey, we'll trot you out on stage, and make you look like fucking crowdfunding losers in front of everybody. And they chose to do that over going to Microsoft, which had open arms to them, saying, we would like nothing more than to have, Shenmue 3 debut on the Xbox. It just doesn't make sense. Why would you go? Why would you go and fucking crowdfund? Why would you go and eBay, especially with the backing of a company like Sony? I thought Sony was a great company. I thought they cared about the gamer. I thought they had money. If they had money and they cared
Well,
about the gamer, don't you think that they would fucking be funding this game and not asking
well,
you as a gamer to pay for it?
yeah.
That
But here's the
just
thing.
pisses me off.
Here's the thing, Chief. If you do remember, after E3, I think Sony's intentions the whole time was just to present it to the people, like, hey, look, Yu Suzuki is doing the crowdfunding to make Shenmue 3
Yeah.
and go out and help him. Now, when they realized, because remember, I believe he made that $3 million that he asked for originally. He made that like
Well, I
really
can tell you
fast.
like this. Look, I'm not donating money to Shenmue
No, no,
because, but
I'm
I mean, for the simple principle of the fact. Okay, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm not donating money to Shenmue because I'll put it like this. I love Halo. Okay, I'm playing it now. You can see me playing Halo right now as we speak. And what I'm trying to say is, if Halo fucking like 10 years from now, they were like, hey, we're gonna make a new Halo game, but you gotta pay for us to make it. You gotta not only pay for us to make it, but then you gotta buy it after you paid for after you've paid the expenses
well,
for us to make it.
I believe when you make a pledge, you entitled to a copy of the game. I believe.
I sure as hell hope so. I sure as hell hope you get a copy of the
I
game.
believe, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't want you to say something and make it sound wrong.
Well, I didn't know
That's
that.
what I believe.
I honestly,
That's if you
I
pledge
thought.
$30 or more.
Okay, well,
Right.
that's I've asked people that before, and nobody ever had a clear answer, and that's something I really did need to know because I want to know, like, okay, how much do you have to pledge to get a copy of this game?
I think it's
Because
$30. The game is a $30 indie title.
or was
Yeah.
30 because the crowdfunding already finished.
Yeah, it's over.
Well, I mean,
But
as
yeah,
far
let
as
me break one thing down because a guy got onto me in the comments, and I did look this up, and I guess it's true. The budget for Shenmue was $47 million overall, but that was split into Shenmue 1, 2, and the Saturn version. So, but even if we divide that by 3, the 47, that's still 16.5. You get what I'm saying? That's still more than 6.3, and that was in 1999.
I mean, but it was a different time, though.
Exactly.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
The tools that they have now, I'm pretty sure are a lot cheaper for him to use to create the game. But that's what
then.
But what I was trying to point out though is the game, in order for him to make it based on today's standards, with today's kind of quality that people expect from games, like let's say a Batman or like let's say a Halo, the game will have to be way more expensive. So right now, in reality, the only thing he can really do to it using Unreal Engine 4 is make pretty graphics.
Okay, well, question I have: have they actually gone out and stated exclusivity or anything like that? As far as I know,
I was trying
really.
to explain to you before. If you notice after E3, this was what happened. Once he went on stage on E3, right, that everybody was yay, crying and everything. I believe it was like a couple hours later they completely got the $3 million he wanted or needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Sony got a lot of backlash in the comments and from the media and the press. Not really for the media like the ponies
from
like
GameSpot,
but from the fans like, well, why the hell didn't you just crowdfund the game if it was only $3 million that you needed? Because you putting $50 million on the Call of Duty deal. Why not do it for Shenmue if it's only like $3 million? Then when they did that, a couple of hours later, Yu Suzuki himself put an article online that he would consider bringing the game out to other platforms. Once he did that, and we're talking about this all happened within the same day, within hours of each other. Sony came out like an hour later, literally, we're going to fund this game.
Yeah.
And guess what? They were lying. They used trick wording. They used trick wording to make it seem like they didn't say we're developing it with them. We said we're fully involved with this game. We're running it through third-party production.
But when was the last time?
To make it seem like they were funding it.
They did that because they want to make sure that it stays away from Xbox console. That's why they did that. That's the real fact. Now, nobody wants to say it. I'm gonna say it. They don't want it on Xbox. Well, that's why.
That's the thing. Is look. I'm. It's no secret. Look, I really don't care for Sony, and I don't care.
We can tell.
Yeah. I don't care. That I don't care about the fact that I don't like Sony. When it comes to gaming. Okay, if there's a game I want to play, I'll buy the console to play it. Look, the reason I don't own a PS4 is because their games are shit. All their exclusives that they have presented to me really show me no reason to buy a console. Period.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying, and I didn't buy the Xbox One day one. Don't even confuse things. Does my controller say day one? No, it does not. I mean, I'm not saying anything wrong. If you're an Xbox owner, you bought one day one, you're an Xbox fan. You know, props to you. But
you want me real quick, Chief?
It's games that sells me a console, not anything else. It's games that sells me a console. If I see something I want to play, I'm gonna buy that shit and I'm gonna play it.
You want to know?
It doesn't matter what console.
Just to say something funny real quick. You know why I bought an Xbox One day one? Because I told you before. I am a big Sega fan. And one of my favorite franchise of Sega is Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Yeah.
Dragoon. And Crimson Dragon.
Crimson Dragon
is a spiritual successor of Panzer Dragon.
Right.
Same creator, same world, same style. I had to get it. As soon as I
Same
heard it
here.
was coming out to Xbox One, I didn't. It wasn't
Yeah.
for any other game but that. And then Killer Instinct kind of helped a little bit. And
Well,
of course, Rise
yeah, yeah.
and Dead Rising. But the real reason was Crimson Dragon. That's what really called me.
Well, I tell you, the thing is, as um, far as I was concerned, the same with the 360. I was like, okay, with the 360, I said to myself, I had I had the GameCube at the time, I had the PS2, and I had the original Xbox, and I was happy as hell. I mean, I had plenty of games. I still had games in my backlog I needed to play, and I really wasn't concerned in buying a 360 and upgrading
Can I give it some?
um, until I saw Gears of War,
Yeah.
and that added with other exclusives gave me a reason to buy that console.
Leave it on top.
And
Give that
this
some
all
more.
stems from me buying bad consoles before. Um, a lot of consoles, like the Jaguar 64. I mean, the 3DO. If you've been around as long as I have, and Paladin, we've wasted money on consoles that had more power than the other consoles, but just had shitty games.
No software,
we-
right? Bad software.
Right. So we've learned our lessons, So we wait. It's all about the software. We realize that if you game long enough,
Mhm.
and me as a gamer, I'm not buying a console. I'm buying games.
Right.
So I didn't buy. I learned my lesson, like I said, with the 3DO, with the Jaguar, and with the PS1 and the PS2. I mean, the PS1 was a shit console as far as I'm concerned because
I never owned one.
I,
It's garbage.
well, I own a Dreamcast, and I really didn't want to fucking buy a PS1 because there were no games to offer on that system.
We had this. You mean
Um,
the Saturn.
yeah. What did I say? I'm sorry, Saturn.
Dreamcast.
Yeah. Had a few.
Saturn
Had
was
a few.
awesome, dude.
Just to let y'all know,
Saturn was
a
freaking
little bit of
awesome.
this, a little bit of that.
That's okay.
But yeah. The fucking Saturn, man. I had Daytona, I had Virtual Fighter, I had Sega Rally, I had Virtual Cop, I had all these fucking awesome games. I didn't. There was, and then with Nintendo, I had their console and had all their awesome games, and I just didn't fucking need any. I had a neighbor that had a PlayStation. He wasn't really a gamer, and
Mhm.
he bought a PS1 because CD players were kind of expensive, and he wanted a CD player to hook up to his stereo living room system. So he bought a PS1. He bought it basically for a CD player.
Wow.
And yeah, and it's secondary. He's like, well, it's a CD player and it plays games, so I got 2 in 1, you know.
Right.
And he wasn't a gamer, like most PS1 fans weren't at the time. They weren't gamers. They bought it for playing usually CDs.
That's why. Microsoft
Yeah,
didn't add the
you know,
HD drive into the
right.
360.
So I mean, I played a lot of games over there, and it wasn't until Resident Evil I was like, you know what, I want to buy this game. Like, yeah, I want to play it. I want to. And in fact, I've been playing it for the last week again
Which
on
one?
the Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil,
Oh,
the
on
remake on
Xbox.
Xbox
Yeah,
One.
it's a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Blade Runner have been running through it, but
It's classic.
you know. Yeah, we're pretty far in it now. I think where we at? We're like I just killed a snake, a giant fucking snake in there. Anyway, so like I said, Resident Evil was a game like it just struck a tone. I was like, you know what, this is a good game, man. Sony's got exclusives, so I bought a PS1. It wasn't for CD player, it wasn't to play CDs. It was to play this particular game.
Yeah, I get
That's
your
why.
point. Hmm.
Right. Well, that game came out later on the Sega Saturn with a
Right.
director's cut.
Because it was
You know.
originally being built and was built for Sega Saturn, but then
Right.
since the market wasn't, Sega Saturn wasn't selling well, the EIDOS, I believe it was EIDOS, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, EIDOS, everybody knows what I'm talking about anyway.
Mhm.
They figured, I guess they did a deal with Sony, and Sony said, well, bring it over to our console since we are selling and we're
Yeah.
having success, so you make some money. And then later on, what happened was it came out on Saturn, but in a limited run. Resident Evil in both um, I think it was Tomb Raider. They only
Hmm.
had I think it was either 500,000 or a million copies available for Sega Saturn. That's all they
Hmm.
produced. That's it. And I mean, it still sounds like a lot, but for for the success that those games had at that time, that was a little bit. So but it was cool that they brought it out for the Sega Saturn. It was just messed up how it went down
Yeah.
and how it all happened. You know. But
Yep.
I think we've been clear on the Shenmue topic.
Yeah.
I think it's time to take out the
Yeah.
elephant out of the room, or the monkey off our back, or whatever you want to call it, and hit the
Mhm.
other topics. So,
Let's get the pony out of the room and let's talk about fucking Tomb Raider.
the hottest topic of the day.
Yeah.
The day.
Yeah.
All
And
of a sudden, all of a sudden,
I I have noticed that a lot of Sony fans are like all happy about this,
well,
and
the,
I I'm happy about it too. I mean, I'm happy for them. I mean, you look at their library; they need some good games. Hold on, let me
yeah,
fix this shit.
I was gonna say
Um,
that, but I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to
well,
sound mean. But here's
well, I
the
mean,
thing.
they
But
do
here's the
need
thing.
some. They need some good games.
Oh
Okay, I
yeah.
mean,
But
uh
here's the thing.
huh.
I was looking at some of the threads, and I actually saw people saying, "Oh hell no, I'm not buying this game and supporting it. It should have been only 6 months exclusive. 6 months timed exclusives, not a year. I'm not getting this game. I'm not buying it. I'm not supporting it. So
Right.
it's not like everybody on that side is happy either. I don't think that's the case. But let's get to the topic. Jay, Tomb Raider. You know, ask away.
I'm probably the most
Yeah.
upset about this Tomb Raider shit out of any of you guys. Um, I don't know. I do not like the fact that Phil Spencer was pulling a Sony being so cryptic, not giving us any clear answer or indications when they were asking him straightforward questions. I don't like that a lot of us in the community made fools out of ourselves talking about this game like it's an exclusive.
Well, I can't talk for the people that said it was exclusive to everyone. I can say this though, having a game for a year exclusive. I mean, I mean, a whole year. Like I said, dude, a year, man. Like I don't know if how can they be excited about getting a game a year later?
Mm-mm.
Where's the excitement in that? Like, I mean, I'm excited about getting it this year. I'm hella excited. I'm about you guys. I'm really happy to get Tomb Raider this year. You know,
Oh boy.
and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna buy an Xbox One. They're gonna be happy they got Tomb Raider this year. And I don't want to be sore about it because if you look at it as far as a business standpoint, for Microsoft, it was a good move. Um, it gives them a good action adventure game this holiday season, and they're going to keep that game for the rest of the year. And then by the time it fucking releases on PS4, it's going to be done. It's going to be old. I mean, what else is there to say? It's not going to be a big deal.
Okay. Um, I understand where Jay's coming from, and I definitely understand where you coming from, Chief.
Hmm.
But this is my take on it. First off, I the fact that Phil Spencer said, and other people on YouTube have talked about this and said it on their podcasts and on their videos. Um, so shout out to them. If I'm trying to sound like I'm repeating what somebody else said, that's not my intent. But the fact that Phil Spencer said in a couple of interviews that he would not make a game better for another platform,
Hmm.
and the fact that he said this is a deal like Resident Evil, right? I
Hmm.
mean, like Resident Evil.
My power's
Jeez,
getting low.
like
Right.
Dead Rising 3 and kind of the Rise deal that it comes to PC a year later, but platform-wise, console-wise, it's only on Xbox console. The
Right.
the fact that he said those things tells me that there's a little more to this than we still know
Hmm.
or we're gonna know. I don't think his intentions was that he was being cryptic and lying. I don't think that um that was the way
What?
it was supposed to go down. I have a
Right.
strong feeling that Square Enix, and again, this is my opinion, this is not fact, so nobody take it and blow it out of proportion. I have a strong feeling that Square Enix is getting afraid because every time they have interviews with all these medias and internet outlets and just the people in the comments, they talk about Tomb Raider, they downplaying it. And not only are
Yeah.
they downplaying it, they're acting as if the game's not important anymore. Saying that it's
Yeah.
boring, that it looks the same based off the demo,
Mhm.
which was very impressive. But
Mhm.
because of this, somebody over there got scared and opened their mouth when they weren't supposed to. Because the game, my problem with it, I don't have a problem with going to PS4. I really don't. My problem is why announce it before the game comes out on Xbox? If y'all made a deal with Xbox and Xbox supposedly was funding the game, marketing the game, and help develop the game, okay? And with this being said and done so early before the release, in the very end or in the long run, it might hurt some sales on Xbox because now the people that were maybe Sony fans, PC fans, maybe not PC fans, but Sony fans and Wii U fans were considering to buy it an Xbox One because they couldn't afford a PC and that was the best choice, and the game was only coming out for Xbox One. Are going to now probably be ignorant like they did back in the day with the PS2 and the Dreamcast, to use an
Well,
analogy, and say, you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what? I'm going to wait because the PS4 version is going
Look,
to have
no.
better
Well, I
frames.
just, I
It's
just,
going
I
to have
just
better
went over
frames.
this a minute ago.
Something
No,
silly like
look.
that. And it's
Nobody
going to
is
have better
gonna
frame rate.
wait. Nobody is gonna. If you're a gamer, nobody's gonna wait a year to play a
Logically,
game you
logically.
want to play.
Nobody that's a
And
real
I'm telling
gamer.
you right now, okay, I bought a shitty ass PS1 and a shitty ass PS2 for games that I could have waited to play on other consoles.
But you
This
were
is
not
another.
aware of it.
This is right. This is an example. Okay, if you want to play Tomb Raider, you're gonna have to buy an Xbox One. If not, wait till next year. Have like sloppy seconds. We'll be done with that game. You know, like it'll be just this used up old diaper. We done taking our shit. You can all fucking day, but it ain't gonna mean anything to us anymore because we'll be on to another game that you Sony
Yeah,
fans won't
well,
have for another year.
but look at.
Because a
Go ahead.
year-long exclusive contract is a lot better than an exclusive contract for commercials or an exclusive
Hmm.
contract for some DLC. This
Right.
is a year. A year. You will
Hmm.
be able to play one of the biggest titles of the year. By
Right.
the
Right.
time it comes out on your console, it won't be the biggest title of the year. It'll be old shit.
Well, for Xbox
So from
fans, it will
Xbox, it's
draw
a
them
great
emotion.
thing.
And
So anybody trying to say, "Oh, well, good news, it's coming out on PlayStation," how is that good news that you're going to have to wait a year to play a game? That
right.
is not good news. That
Right.
is bad news. That's
Right.
being spun into good news. And if
Well,
you fucking believe that bullshit,
the
you're a
most
moron.
the
I mean,
false
come on.
because there is a
Play it
difference.
now. You can play it now, or you can wait for greatness.
But
There's your choice.
there's a difference between gamers and fanboys. Sony fanboys, like Xbox fanboys, they're like that as well. Um, are extremists. They were just for the fact of having the just to
Yeah,
prove
and you know what?
just to
You know what
prove
I've always complained about?
Xbox fans, they'll be like,
I've
you know what? I'm gonna
right,
wait. I'm not buying an Xbox. I'm just gonna get
right.
a PS4. You
Well,
get what
let
I'm
me
saying?
tell you something. I've seen Sony fans hurt their own favorite games by boycotting them. Okay, I've
Mm-hmm.
seen a game that they was their favorite game in the whole world, and it comes out on another console, and they boycott it, and they hurt the sales of it on their own console.
Right, right.
I've not
I
met an
think it did that with
Xbox.
Final Fantasy 13.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yes, and what I'm trying to say is Microsoft is in a better position, and so is Adios because we're not dealing with weird fucking fanboyism. We're dealing with gamers. The fact that Microsoft can publish this game first, they can release it, make a bunch of money off of it, create a name for it, and the thing is they're going to benefit it in the first part of it. They're gonna sell consoles. They're gonna sell copies. They're gonna, most of you are gonna sell consoles. If there's a
here's the
Tomb
thing.
Raider, if there's a two, look, all right. Let me ask you a question. If you're a fan of any game, are you gonna wait a year to play that game, or are you gonna buy the console that has it now? That's what I'm trying to say. And so, right, and if you want to play this game and you want to play it now, you're gonna have to buy an Xbox One. If you want to wait a fucking year and play it then, that's fine. But like I said, it was a good move for Microsoft just to get a year exclusivity on it. I maybe they could have been more I don't know. Maybe they. Well, no, not honest, because I mean the thing is Sony tries to act like they'll get. Okay, Sony will get an exclusive deal with a commercial exclusive deal where the game is coming out on both consoles, but they're getting exclusive commercials. And they'll try to act like the game is coming out only on their console when the deal is they're only getting commercials exclusively on their fucking console. Well, this is a year-long exclusive contract, so they're not lying when they said it's exclusive this holiday season. That's what they said. They said Tomb Raider is exclusive this holiday season. Whenever company words things like that, I say to myself, well, that they're telling us that it could come out on another console later, but for this holiday season, it's exclusive. That's how I hear it, because that's what I know they're trying.
Here's where
they're trying to say.
Here's where the problem and the backlash is coming from, Chief. And Jay Long was trying to tell you. A lot of kids are Jay Long's age and a little older. They have a different way of looking at things because they don't trust a lot of people because they're growing up in an era. And
okay, well, don't buy. Hey, how about this? How about this? Instead of don't buy an Xbox because Tomb Raider's coming out on PlayStation next year. How does that make sense?
It doesn't. But let me get to
like I said. First of all, well, how about don't buy Destiny because it's coming out the same day on Xbox One?
Right. I know what you're saying.
Look,
but
man.
What I'm saying is a year-long exclusivity is a lot better than a commercial deal. It's a lot better than a DLC exclusive deal. And again, the people who want to play this game and who are going to buy this game, they're going to buy this game and they're going to buy the Xbox One to play this game. By the time it comes out on PlayStation 4, it's going to be the same game, and it's going to cost $60. When you'll be able to buy a used copy of it on the Xbox One for much less.
It is a good deal. It is a good deal for the gamers on Xbox community. And it's a good deal because it is a year. It's not 6 months, not 5 months. It is, but it's perception, Chief. The problem is people in this in gaming right now think or have the perception that PS4 is more powerful and more capable, right?
Well, let me say this.
Hear me out.
The reason, look, the fact that it's coming out on PS4 is a good thing because everybody should be able to enjoy good games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing is this is not a Microsoft-owned IP.
No, it's not.
And Microsoft, and you got to think again, if Microsoft is cool enough to fund a game and not ask for the ownership of the IP.
I think that's just a waste of money, man. That's just
it kind of feels like a waste of money. I get what you're saying too, Jay. I agree because see, if they were going to lock it down completely, where it stays here. If Tomb Raider 3 comes out, fine, but this one, because then that makes the console feel special because we have a game that Sony fans want it real bad, and they didn't get. Just like they're doing now, gloating with Street Fighter ever since it was announced. And that was the whole reason why they did that Street Fighter thing, was because Yoshida didn't know himself about the deal with Tomb Raider, and they didn't even know if it was going to be exclusive to Xbox only. That's why they did the whole Street Fighter thing. But now, the fans of Sony's are getting the best end of the the better end of the stick in the sense that they're gonna get their Uncharted, their Street Fighter, and their Tomb Raider. What
Well,
do we
no,
get?
that's the thing,
What
dude.
do we get?
Well, look.
Only
What I'm
all we're
trying to
getting is
see,
Tomb
that's
Raider. You
the
get what I'm
difference,
saying?
dude. Y'all are thinking of the situation as it is,
No,
and you're not thinking of it as the situation as it will be.
no,
What
no.
I'm trying to
I'm
look, yeah,
that way
give
too. Yeah.
give me, oh, all right, give me a second, and I'm sure you feel this perspective. You'll see where I'm coming from.
Hmm.
Um, this is a year exclusive contract, which means what they are doing as a business is they're filling a gap, okay?
Hmm.
A gap that is they've already planned to
Without
fill.
question.
Right. So they have a gap in their exclusive lineup, which is action adventure. Well, let's say put it like this. Well, what is our competition doing in action adventure? Well, they're just
Oh man.
imitating another action adventure game. Well, let's find the action adventure game that they're imitating and let's borrow that for this year while we see what we can do for next year. Let's look at what
Look,
and
man.
look, I'm telling you next year Microsoft has an exclusive lined up to fill this gap. This year,
It does. It's a fact. But
right. So
look, man.
look, by the time Sony fans finally get their grubby little hands on this game and it's a year old, basically after Lars Pussy's been worn out by every Xbot dick in the world, they're
That's
gonna
true.
get
That's true.
their hands on this game finally, and by the time they get their hands on it, Microsoft is going to be showing an exclusive game in this genre that another game that they'll never have. I mean, like I said, it's kind of like a
Man,
place filler, if you feel me. It's a
I
placeholder.
just
I
I
mean,
just remembered this one aspect, but we all know that these companies have the following 3 years planned out already. So I
mhm,
believe Don Matrick had 2013 to 2015 all mapped out. I think I even made a video about this a couple months back.
mhm.
And this sounds like a Don Matrick thing to do because if you remember the 360, they had a lot of timed exclusives like Mass Effect, BioShock that were
Well,
exclusive for a year, but
Yeah.
now that you look at it
give me
years
one
later, they're
sec.
no
Let me
longer
give
that.
one sec, Jay.
And in my
One sec,
opinion,
real
I
quick.
If you,
prefer the future is more important. I mean, how we're gonna look at
yeah,
these consoles in the future, to me, is more important than how it is now because these consoles carry a legacy. And you look back, oh wow, the 360 had a lot of exclusives. You look, oh that one's a PS3. Oh,
mhm.
that was also on PS3. Oh, oh no, that's one thing I do not like about this, man. They're going back to that old stigma that they have of them
Well,
not really
you're
caring
talking
about their
about bragging
exclusives.
rights. I get it too. The bragging rights too. That comes into play. But the thing with Mass Effect, to be honest, to be fair, even BioShock, the reason why that happened was because those
Look,
original
look,
companies
look.
that owned them. Hold
Let
on,
me
Chief.
tell you
Hold
something.
on,
Yeah,
Chief.
yeah.
Hold on, hold
Okay,
on.
go ahead, and I'm about to crack this open.
Okay, hold on. Those original companies, Jay.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I don't know if you ever knew about it, but they were going bankrupt, and Take Two bought one of them, and I believe the other one was bought by EA, and that is why they ended up coming to PS3. They were
Hmm.
originally supposed to be only
Hey,
Xbox exclusive,
okay.
but
You
because they
remember?
filed for
Yeah.
bankruptcy,
All right.
somebody else
Hmm.
bought them out. Those
But those weren't the only two.
contracts. Yeah, I know,
Okay.
but I'm giving you an example
Hey.
of the because there were two big ones at the time, and they were helping 360s because they were exclusives. Um, and what happened was, at the end of the day, they came over, but it was because not because of the deal that was done, but because they breached the contract because they had the right to because another company owned the properties now, not because Microsoft didn't do the
Yeah,
deals.
but whatever,
But it
man. That's
sucks. It
still not.
sucks. It
It does.
sucks.
It
It
does.
sucks.
And remember, we're like, oh, Tomb Raider is exclusive now, but when you look at the Xbox One's history, we're gonna forget that Tomb Raider was even exclusive, just like we forget that BioShock is an exclusive,
Oh,
and all
look.
these
That.
games were
Yeah, yeah,
exclusives.
yeah. But the thing
And
is,
like you
is
said, I think they should have just they should have just invested in their own action adventure game from the get go instead of doing this last minute decision just to fill in the
no, no,
void.
no, 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 no.
You know?
Because what you're saying would mean that
Well,
they
we
would
have the
have to
bragging rights to
rush.
play a whole
You don't
first.
look. You don't want a rush game. Okay, how many times have you seen a rush game end up being the worst thing ever? Rush games are not good. The fact that they use this as a placeholder to give themselves time is a good indicator, is all I'm saying. And another thing I like to say about it, man, is besides that, it's a good business move. As far as like, there are so many people that are Tomb Raider fans. You don't understand. Like
Yeah.
that game brought in. It's a cult of a game. It has its own following, and it will bring a lot of consumers. But it's not an important game. It's not important enough for put it this way. It's not important enough for Microsoft to buy exclusivity to. And another thing you got to think about too is, in one perfect world, okay, you got no exclusivity at all. But you're talking about like one company owning all the IPs. You can't have that either. The reason why you can't have that, it's just too many things to manage at one time. I mean, Microsoft needs to focus on the IPs that they have under their belt, that they have focused and dedicated all this time to up until now. I mean, it's okay to add new ones here and there, but what I mean is you can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. You can't have too many IPs to focus on. It's hard. It's too hard to. And the thing is like I said, it ends up bad. It ends up really bad, and history can show you this. If you look back at what Sony has done, how it proves that this is a mistake.
Nice
Every time Sony gets with a company and makes a game, and makes a really good game, Sony requires the IP, the ownership of the IP.
That's
and
smart. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, no, it's not.
It's
Smart. It's not smart. No, it's not. It's smart for the
they
company.
No,
yeah, let
exactly.
me say something.
It's smart
but not
for
the
Sony,
consumer.
not smart for the.
But not for the
consumer. It's smart.
Right.
Because
no.
Yes, because Sony fans, even though Ratchet and Clank's a third-party game, they're assured that Ratchet and Clank isn't going anywhere but PlayStation.
Okay.
How is that bad for the consumer?
It's made by
for Insomniac.
It's bad for Insomniac. It's bad for the developer. But in the end, okay, well, that's what I'm saying. What I'm trying to get here is you just nailed it. The developer is who makes the game.
The developer gets fucked over.
Right. If it's bad for the developer, it's bad for the consumer. Because if the developer's not happy, they're not going to make a good product.
My biggest problem
that's actually true, because the Ratchet and Clank started sucking after they started becoming average after a certain point because Insomniac lost the fun.
Right. That's because because look, if the developer's not happy, the consumer's not going to be happy. Because
once you feel trapped, it's different.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But here's the thing.
Well,
Microsoft
that's American business school. That's not Japanese business school. Japanese business school is different.
Microsoft,
it's all about,
that's right. It's true.
It's all about dominating over there, dude. It's all about dominating your competition. And what I'm trying to tell you is every IP that Sony gets their grubby little hands on, they're going to destroy it. Whereas Microsoft is going to,
in the long run, they end up
give it the treatment that it deserves. And Microsoft's not going to invest in anything that hasn't created a portfolio yet. So if you think about it, they've paid for many exclusives that they didn't own the IP for. They let that game prove itself, and then they bought the IP. They only buy the IPs to the most successful games out there, and like I said, they manage them very carefully. You can't manage all the, like I said, if Microsoft went around buying up all the great IPs, some IPs would suffer because they don't have the money and the resources to manage all of them. And what I'm trying to say is allowing these allowing these developers to be independent and allowing them to keep their intellectual property, which is what IP stands for, allowing them to keep their brand name and keep the name of their game no matter what happens. This is good for the industry. It's not as good for Microsoft, but Microsoft realize that they're nothing without the industry. So they need to cater towards it. Does that mean Sony is a destructive company who will fucking gobble up every IP under the fucking sun like some kind of big fucking whale, fucking sucking up fucking plankton in the fucking sea and shit, and just fucking shitting it out. They don't care. They go around, like I said, like dominating shit, and they'll buy up shit. They'll use it till it's dry. Then they'll say no more of you, and then they'll say, oh wait, we need you again. Come back. It's a game that they're playing whereas Microsoft is actually contributing to the industry. They're saying, hey, look, they're taking companies that actually have a good track record. Where Sony's saying, hey, you're a shitty company with a shitty track record. Come here, we'll own you and tell you what to do. Microsoft's saying, look, you prove yourself to us, and we will fucking financially back your game. You prove yourself even further, and we may buy the intellectual property from you at a large amount. That is a much better deal to a developer. It is a much better deal.
Yeah, Microsoft is definitely helping them out, man.
They're helping gaming. They're where Sony is sucking it dry. They're sucking the developers dry.
Microsoft gets a lot of shit for being that evil corporation who's trying to, milk money out of everything and make money out of everything.
Well, they are.
But they are the more developer friendly. But they're the more developer friendly company.
Because they're smarter. Because look. They, like I said, it's just like any company. They want to make money.
They're more flexible than Sony too.
Yes, exactly.
But here's the thing. Phil Spencer is a gamer. He's the one in charge right now, right?
And if you look at the 2016 lineup, you could tell he's a fucking gamer. The shit that he's giving us.
Obviously, but also keep in mind he's been there for 27 years, so he's not somebody that's just been around the corner and just started now. He's been around.
He's observed the industry.
What he's doing now is he's cherry picking the games that he knows with a shadow of a doubt in his heart that are worth owning and keeping so that they don't go anywhere else.
Recore,
like
Quantum
a
Break,
Scalebound, like a Recore, or like a Quantum Break, or like a Cuphead for that matter.
Right.
And he's doing a good job. But the reason why it's not cool to do that to developers, but the reason why you have to is because then they'll do things like this and give the companies that support them the middle finger. Because it feels like Square Enix is giving Xbox fans the middle finger because Microsoft helped them fund it, market it, and develop it with their money. And now they're like, oh yeah, Sony, you can have it, and maybe even bring it out for $40 a year later. Now, we get the bragging rights of playing the game a whole year first, and that's the most important thing, period, at the end of the day. Okay? And any real smart gamer is not going to be stupid and wait a whole year to play the game, because it doesn't make any sense, just like Chief said. But it's nice to know that what you own, as far as consoles go, that piece of plastic you own, has a reason why it's worth owning. Because if you have exclusives on it that you can't play nowhere else, and I think this is why Nintendo fans are so diehard, they don't let go. You know you can't play no Mario, no Zelda, no Kid Icarus, no Metroid on any other platform but theirs, even Donkey Kong. Okay? And that is also very good. The Xbox is a special console, and it deserves special games that only resonate and are part of their console. Okay, and I'm talking about even with PC, because I don't agree with them bringing out everything to PC either. Because to be honest with you, even though they're not in competition with PC, because they are PC with as far as software and as far as their Windows, PC gamers don't appreciate anything. Most of them want everything free. Most of them burn everything and download it illegally anyway. Even if Xbox found a way to do that shit where security, DRM, they figure out a way to break all that stuff. Because they're just greedy fuckers. They don't care.
Yeah.
That's why I don't compare.
Not only that,
with console.
Not only that, dude. They enjoy playing mods of games and shit more than they do actually, playing the game that the creator developed.
They're all critics. They all think they're critics because they're playing on a better. I don't call it platform.
They all think they're tech experts since they built the
right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
And like I said, there's no money to be made on the PC, market either because like you said,
dude, I'm surprised that GTA sold on PC.
Yeah.
The new GTA 5, right? GTA 5.
5.
Yeah.
It sold like 3 million or 2 million, some shit like that. I was like, what? PC for real? They didn't pirate the game? Are you serious? Like, I thought that shit wasn't gonna sell.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the highest selling game on PC, but look how many numbers. It's 2 million. The highest selling game on PC and it's like 2 million. When the highest selling game on a motherfucking console is like 80 million, because that's how much it sold on console, about 80 million. GTA 5, you know what I mean?
You know, you can't just blame PC gamers. It's kind of human nature. You know.
Not really, because if there's something that's quality, I don't care how much it is.
Yeah.
You know, you say it's better to have free stuff.
Well, what?
Quality,
Yeah.
you don't mind paying for
Right.
it.
Yeah.
It is nice to get it free, but if it's that good,
Well,
you won't mind paying for
they're
it. Trust
not
me.
well, like I said, they're not really gamers. I mean, like if
Right.
they were, they would play the games and not and and yeah, they would want to contribute to the industry that they love. I mean,
Because
if you like,
once they
right,
pirate it, they're not helping and supporting the developers. They're
yeah,
actually making them lose money, and they're just
yeah.
worrying about, oh no, I'm not giving Microsoft money. No, you're hurting the developers, you dum dums.
Yeah, because what are developers supposed to do? Not make money,
Yeah.
and that's the funny thing too is I hate hearing about greedy developers or greedy corporations. It's like
Mhm.
if they don't fucking make money, how are they gonna make the next game? You dumbass.
Right.
Like I
You not
really
only that,
Right.
love that shit.
you go to work for 5 days for 12 hours a day and not get paid at the end of the week.
Yeah, no
Right.
kidding.
Right.
You're not gonna
It's
tolerate that
so
shit. What the fuck is
stupid.
wrong with this?
Microsoft is an evil company, and you know, every company has to fucking make money. But I'm trying to fix this shit. But every company has to fucking make
Microsoft is a
money.
company that everybody loves to hate. That's something we
It
already
Yeah,
seems that
established.
way.
and the hate doesn't just come from Xbox. It's
I
to
tell you what,
Microsoft as a whole. You're right.
I tell
Yeah,
you
in
what
general,
was weird.
Microsoft.
I was at the military base. Hold on. I was at the military base today, and what do they call that shit? The exchange. Um,
Yeah.
and I was looking at electronics that they had at the exchange, and you know what I found weird?
Hmm.
That they had like a huge amount of fucking Sony products. Like it was amazing how like in an American military fucking exchange, how much shit they carry that had Sony on it. And I was really thinking to myself like, you know, don't of all the fucking electronics in the world, like they literally Sony TV, Sony speakers, they it was kind of weird to me. I was like, don't you think they would be supporting American companies a little bit better than this? I
Yeah.
don't know.
All right, guys.
Hey, well,
Since we pretty much hit every nail on the head, uh, should I let someone from the comments join? Send the
Well,
link directly to them instead of
yeah,
leaving it
yeah.
open.
Do you have a way to do you have a way
Just,
to
just send it to one person only, or
well,
what?
well,
can you kick
how
them
many
out
viewers you
immediately if
got on?
anything
Yeah,
weird happens?
How many viewers you have on there?
I got 3. We got Jay Maynard in
Okay.
the comments. We know he's not a troll.
All right, yeah,
I
let him
got
in.
Mighty Guy. He's a good dude.
Um, but I think Tomb Raider exclusivity is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for both parties.
It's
I think
definitely,
it's a good thing.
especially for us Xbox owners,
Well,
is a
I
good thing.
think it's a
Yeah,
good thing for
absolutely.
Microsoft for this holiday season, and I think it's a good thing for Adios and the people who make Tomb Raider next year because they'll be able to make extra money on that game, dude.
Mhm.
And like I said, Microsoft that's what you got to like about Microsoft is they're not being greedy. They're allowing companies to flourish, and they're not trying to control every IP that's popular. Um,
Hmm.
you know,
I don't think that was
they
their
are.
intent.
I'm not
They
saying they're
don't-
not interested in popular
But
IPs. I mean, they're only
you gotta
interested in the
also understand.
most popular. If you get what I'm saying,
Yeah,
they're,
yeah, I
but
do. But you
you
gotta
know what I mean?
understand, Chief. I also think that Uncharted 4 was supposed to probably come out this year, and they
Yeah.
didn't think they had to delay it. And that was probably really the real reason why this deal was done in the first
Well,
place.
I can tell you,
But then now, since
If Uncharted
they
was a
delayed
good
it,
series, if Uncharted was a good
but
series, or Last of Us was a good series, I would have already owned a PS4. I don't really
yeah,
consider
but
either one of those
okay, but you don't consider it a good series, but a lot of
excellent
people
games.
do. A lot of people
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
Now,
But okay,
what I'm trying to
they're
say by this is
they're
next year.
mediocre. I mean, if you can, I will compare those games to other good games. I would say that they're as good as like Assassin's Creed or many other multiplats out there. They're not system selling exclusives.
Well, for the PlayStation fans, they are because that's what they've been getting. But
Well, I
What I'm
mean,
trying
I'm
to
a
say to you is
PlayStation
this
fan.
too.
I mean,
I kind of
I've played
feel
all those games. So I mean,
I'm with you too. I didn't enjoy them. I think they're overrated. But that's
they
a whole
weren't that
different
good.
story. But here's the thing. I kind of feel like they're setting themselves up also because remember, Uncharted have to definitely come out next
Yeah.
holiday season because it's their biggest heavy hitter. And they already remember Uncharted was announced when they did their first launch party for the game,
Right.
for the
Reveal.
console,
Yeah.
the reveal, right? So it has to come out by next holiday season.
Mhm.
You don't think that that's kind of going to affect the sales for Tomb Raider as well? I think so because it's in the same type of genre, even though it has its own flavor. But
Yeah.
if I know there will be Sony fans that will go out and buy both. Yes, I'm pretty sure with no doubt they will be. But I don't think that they're gonna go buy Tomb Raider first before Uncharted 4. You get what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
So in a way, it might even bite them in their ass, so to speak, because of this
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
I don't think that it coming out on PS4 next year is gonna deter anybody who wants to play the game this year
Mm-hmm.
from
I
buying an
agree.
Xbox One.
Anybody that's smart and
Period.
that really wants to play
In
it, they're
fact,
not gonna wait. They'll play it.
if anything, this helps the hype around the game. This
Mm-hmm.
helps discussion around it, talk about it. You know what I mean? As far as that's concerned, hold on. Yeah, I think my tablet might be dying soon. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
My tablet is maybe
Mm-hmm.
dying. So, I mean, the game is going to do good either way. Um, the console sales are going to be strong from it. Other than that, man, I mean, next year, you know, they can have fun with our sloppy seconds. Like always, we'll have better exclusives and we'll have more games coming
Well,
out.
this time next year, we're gonna be playing
They'll be
Scalebound.
waiting a year for. I mean,
Well,
that's
next
just
year,
how it always is.
this time next year, we'll
But
be playing
yeah,
Scalebound. We'll be playing
yeah.
Gears of War 4.
I
We'll be
mean,
playing
yeah,
Quantum
yeah.
Break. We'll be playing,
Well,
Crackdown 3.
as it is, I was lucky enough not to buy into the hype, and I didn't waste money on that system.
Hmm.
I just like with the Xbox One, I waited for games to come out that I wanted. Xbox One came out with like 5 games that I said, you know what, I gotta play those, and I bought an Xbox One for those games. I'm still waiting on PS4 to even have one game, and it's not just one game. Okay, either they're gonna need like with the Xbox One, they had you know, it wasn't just one game because there was already one game that I wanted, that I knew I was gonna want was Halo, and then you know then there was of
There you
course
are.
yeah, then there was of course like what else was there going to be, and then
Hey,
there was like
Jay.
5 games they showed. They showed everything from Dead Rising 3, you know, to fucking um, uh, Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break, and all these fucking cool ass games, and even Timefall was a great game for me. I picked them all up, you know, when
Right,
Timefall
right,
came out. I was like, you know what, this is a good enough reason to go ahead and get one now. I still have the money to get a PS4, but there's no
right.
game like, first of all, Halo is a game I'll pay $500 to fucking play. So, or if you're talking about a console seller, that's one right there. And then the rest of the games are kind of like icing on the cake, kind of like a bonus. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right, right.
you know, Halo is worth the purchase of a console. So they haven't even shown me a game that's worth the purchase of a PS4 yet, let alone 4 or 5 games to make icing on the cake.
Okay. That's fair enough. But see, I think the bad taste is with all this,
As
and
far
I
as
don't want to sound like
exclusives go, I mean, they got the multiplats, but so do
I
we.
know.
They're the same
Yeah, I
on both
know.
platforms.
But
So
since we're
what do they
talking about,
have exclusively?
yeah, I know.
Absolutely
But since
nothing.
I get it,
It's
but
a
since we're
joke.
talking about Tomb
And
Raider,
We
what I'm
forgot
and
trying to
about
say is,
Bloodborne.
well, yeah. We're forgetting about Bloodborne. I mean,
Forgot about
you
Order.
know, you got the odor.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Godzilla.
Oh man, you know. Don't
Godzilla.
don't forget the epic Godzilla game coming
Oh
out. I
yeah,
don't know if y'all
Godzilla.
seen
Godzilla.
how amazing that is.
Oh,
Really.
you forgot that about that baseball game. Don't forget about that either.
Oh
And
yeah,
they have
MLB, right?
baseball. Like it's not more boring than golf, I promise.
Of course not. No, but
Oh
here's
man,
the
I
thing.
have
Sure.
been
If
loving
you
the
can
day.
What I
play
think-
9 innings
what-
of baseball in a video game, you know what? You deserve to get that game for free. You shouldn't have to pay for it. If you can do 9 innings of any baseball game, you should get that game for free.
Well, it's
Hey, you
better
know
than
the
real
funny
life.
thing though that
It's
you
a
don't see
torture. It's torture.
you know the funny thing you don't see the media going on about the Shenmue is at
Mhm.
10 million we were supposed to get an open world, a true open world
Mhm.
game.
That's
At
what I was wanting to hear.
6.5 million we were supposed to get a part-time job. It didn't
Right.
reach them stretch goals. So and then at 11 million it was supposed to get a real true fighting experience.
Mhm.
We didn't reach the
What the
stretch
fuck
goals.
does
Why
that
isn't
tell us that the fighting is
Look,
going to be
down that?
now? Holy
At
shit!
this
I didn't
point,
even know that.
as a Shenmue fan, okay, Shenmue is past its time. Okay, we love it for what it was.
It's gonna be a movie, interactive movie.
Man,
Yeah,
look,
but see, you don't hear anyone talking about that. Like you're sitting here,
No, they
so
don't. They don't. They don't because it's the bias. They're not gonna
who
talk
is
about
Ryu's father's killer? That's what we all want to know. Who killed Ryu's father? I guarantee you, since it's a Japanese game, it was probably some Chinese guy. There, case closed,
It
game
was
over.
a Chinese
yeah,
guy.
it was
Holy
a
shit.
Chinese guy.
There you go. We finished Shenmue, guys.
It
we
was a
finished
Chinese
Shenmue.
guy.
Don't donate any money. We just finished it. It's over. Game.
And not only that, but he also at that 11 million thing he was talking about, he wanted to make a Shenmue 4 after Shenmue 3.
Mm. Yeah, well, he said something to the lines that he wanted to do it like episodic still.
Yeah, he wanted to
But-
do 15 in total.
Dude, the only
just
way you
find
can
it
pull it
funny
off.
that no one-
Okay, put it like
Yeah,
this.
don't-
Put it like this.
as we were
If
speaking
it's
earlier-
multi-console,
It's not coming to Xbox One.
Okay, if
I
it's
can
multi,
guarantee you that.
if it's multi-console, I still don't want to donate money to it because it's stupid, dude. It's too good of a game to deserve to go out this way, and
Look.
I don't look and look, even if it does come out on the Xbox One, I really feel like I don't want to play it.
It won't, man. I'm telling you right now, that game will not come out on the Xbox One. Because the developer will not let it come out. I guarantee
Yeah,
you.
Suzuki's not gonna allow it.
Yeah, he
This is-
hates
okay.
Microsoft.
Okay,
Yeah.
if it comes out on PS4 as a fucking indie Kickstarter game, I'm never gonna fucking care about it ever for as long as I live.
I'm still
done.
gonna play it because I will on a PS4 eventually.
Look,
But I'm gonna get it on like a summer sale.
look,
I'm not paying
I'll
$30
tell you this,
for that.
I
For the
will
bastardization
buy. I'll
of
give
my
it.
favorite
how about,
fucking Dreamcast.
all right, Jay Long. How about this? If Sony can fucking muster up an exclusive title that isn't fucking some third-party fucking hack or some fucking remake or some fucking killer of a game I've already, I enjoy. I don't want a Halo killer. I don't want a Forza killer or a
You
Mario
don't want that
Kart
bread,
killer.
man?
I don't want a I don't want a Wiimote killer. I don't
You
want to.
don't want bread or Rocket League?
I don't want
Oh,
bread.
Them are the best
Yo,
titles of the year,
look,
man.
what was that? What was that fucking game? That fucking what was that game on PlayStation? The fucking it was like GTA with no fucking HUD or anything. It was pretty fucking tight.
The Getaway?
Getaway. Give me something like that. Give me Getaway, Warhawk, or fucking something like I don't know, man. Like,
Twisted
No.
Metal Black.
give me
Just give me
something.
Jade Empire
Twisted
or any
Metal
of the
was whatever.
old.
But dude,
Yeah,
dude,
Fire.
look. I mean, the thing is even if they give it to you, they're gonna be like, "Hey, we want you to fund it."
Now that they allow this Shenmue shit, yeah,
Well,
more than likely.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
tweeted this out.
yeah.
I
I know.
tweeted this out 2 days ago, man. How can Sony not have a first-party lineup this year, but they can sell us a goddamn remote?
Yeah,
You have no
It's
first-party games, but you
ridiculous,
sell us
man.
a $30 remote, and no one said anything about that.
With their
Yeah.
shitty third-party lineup and their lack of support for fucking first-party titles, you would think. I mean, it's shit, man. All their exclusives are third-party exclusives. Third party. They're not first party. They're third party, and they're just. I mean, I understand Microsoft's doing that too, but I consider that like when you're in business, you have to, It's kind of like a battle. You know what I mean? You have to, when they do it, you have to do it back. It's kind of like that. It's not really, you can't blame one, but you kind of got to blame the person who started the shit. Sony was the first company to start buying exclusive third-party IPs and convincing gamers that these games were exclusive. Again, I mean, you know,
Yeah, but that's
they.
all. That's to get them, man. That's
But
to get
now,
them hype
right.
because they have nothing to hype up anyway.
Well,
So they
the
need
the
the
thing
lineup.
is they've proven that it works. It works as a strategy to sell consoles.
Well,
So
that's because
when
we
the
have
thing,
idiots.
yeah, exactly. So Microsoft's not they're not dumb. They realize, look, idiots buy into this kind of stupid casual hype. So we're gonna have to kind of like do it too. I mean, but the thing is you can look past that with Microsoft. When Microsoft does develop a AAA exclusive title, it exceeds any fucking multiplat you can purchase. That's, in my opinion, growing up with games the way a fucking exclusive should be. You know, I grew up where you know, Sega exclusives offered something different. You know, so Nintendo and Sega went at each other and they offered something different. You know, and
Right.
you know, they weren't trying to copy off of each other, and it was a battle that benefited the consumer, right? So if you were like, and you own both consoles, you had like these two totally different fucking worlds to play in. Whereas like Sony is just this fucking weird flea market console that's like a black hole of fucking nothingness. I don't understand what people see in it. And it all started, they started their brand by buying third-party exclusivity. And these fans that get all mad about third-party exclusivity, they don't understand that the company they're a fan of is the one that started this whole fucking dirty business.
That is
Like,
true.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and again, I'm going to go back to what I was saying. I'm sorry. Oh, no, let me go
No,
back
but
to
the
what
media don't
originally-
sell it that way
I
either.
kinda-
The media makes
yeah.
it seem like, oh no,
Hey,
it's
don't let me
Microsoft
cut
doing
you
this.
off real quick, but I
Well,
got a
yeah.
question. See that Sega and if I'm not mistaken, isn't it Capcom or whatever? One of them are going away from the gaming market. Why not these companies buy out some of their IPs? I mean,
Well,
there's
it's up
so
to the
many good
company to
IPs
sell it.
from them
That's
that
Yeah.
why.
could do that.
Well,
Jay,
Well, take for example, what was it, THQ and all them when they went out of business and they were
They
done.
sold all
They
their
were
shit.
pretty
You're
much
right.
done. They sold all their stuff.
well, it took them
Sega
a
is
while
going
to
into
sell
the
Darksiders,
mobile.
but they
Sega's
wanted too
going to the
much.
mobile market, so why not just start selling off some of your IPs to these other companies? You're still gonna make money. You're gonna make profit regardless.
You know what? Sega's smart. Sega's looking at the long haul. They know the value of their IPs. The problem is they don't have the money to execute them. I think the way they want to. What they're trying to do is they're
They're
trying to
supposed to be making a
restructure.
big
They're
triple game
they're
for
right.
they're
But
gonna
they
Right.
announce a
can lease
Tokyo.
their
Yeah.
IPs
And,
out.
and instead of selling off $100 million intellectual property
Properties.
for nothing, they feel that they can rebrand, they can restructure, and they can get the value out of their properties. That's the way Sega is looking at it, and as a company, that's what they need to do. That's their strength. That's all they have. If they don't do that, they're not going to have anything. You see what I'm saying? If they sell off
They
any of
might
their
not.
IPs,
They might not
cool,
have an
right?
existence to that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but they could lease them at least, you know, like some of them IPs. It's the same thing with
Or make
Microsoft.
deals.
Microsoft is sitting on a gold mine of IPs,
Yeah, make deals.
but they don't use them.
Yep.
Well, it's all about time management. It's also about how many games you can actually sell a year. You got to think the consumers can only afford to purchase so many games a year, and with so many games coming out, they can't just throw games out as much as they probably would like to.
They try to give every game some time to have.
Every game
time
has to have time to sell. Exactly. You
Yeah,
know.
Oh yeah.
But I know what.
Right.
But I understand what Jay's saying though.
Games
There
are
are some
time-consuming entertainment, and they got to be handled different than movies.
But
the
Jay
way
has a
movies
point.
are
There are some games that need to be made deals for because what are the point of them having them in a vault and not use them if they could be making the money?
I mean, look
You know,
look at what
they're just
Rare's
not
doing with the
making-
Yeah.
look at what Rare's doing with the collection, 30 games for $30.
I can't wait.
There was
Yeah,
a
the
tweet.
Rare
I can't
Replay.
remember who tweeted it out, but they said that Sega should do the same thing. I
We
agree
were
with
saying
that.
that today.
Sega should do the
Blazing
exact
Phoenix. Shout
same
out to him.
thing.
He was the one who tweeted
Mhm.
it out. Yeah. Blazing
I
Phoenix.
mean, that
did
is
it.
a smart business move.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can lease
Yeah.
some of your
Yeah.
IPs and do the exact same thing. You're still making a profit, and yeah, maybe Microsoft or Sony's going to
And I,
publish it and develop it, but you're still cutting a profit out of it regardless.
yeah, and out of
Mhm.
anybody, Sega can definitely make collections because they got so many IPs and
They
Oh,
everything.
yeah,
already
they got-
have
they
one.
got-
They have one on the 360 with nothing but Genesis. Imagine one with
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single
And
thing
you know
from
what's
their
the thing too that
catalog,
get me mad
Genesis
with
and
Sega?
beyond.
I don't know if you fellas agree with me, but you know what gets me mad with Sega? A lot of the IPs that they own, right, that are really good, that they always make these collections, right? But there's always the Genesis collection or some few Saturn collection titles,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Like the
they
They
last
got a
collection I
never,
Panzer
bought was a
Dragoon
Genesis,
Saga
I
in one of
think.
but
those
they
collections.
never
Man, that would sell
make
millions.
yeah, but they don't never make like the arcade stuff they never brought out.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like
Yeah, yeah. What about the
Planet,
arcade? Yeah, yeah.
like
AM2
Planet
collection. We were
Harrier,
talking about no,
like
an
Planet
AM1
Harrier,
collection, AM2 collection, and AM3 collection, or something like
right,
that.
like
Yeah,
Power
the
Grid,
AM2,
Planet
AM2,
Harrier, you know?
Yeah,
AM2 doesn't.
yeah.
AM2 can easily fit in a collection.
Sega
Yeah.
Yeah,
could make
Golden Axe
so.
3,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Golden
They.
Axe 3,
Yeah.
the Revenge of Death Adder, man. They got
Well.
some really good. Eastwat, another good ass game
Yeah.
they never brought
Look,
out.
I got an emulator. The only good thing PC gaming is for emulators, and I have
Mhm.
I
Oh,
can
yeah,
pretty
it's
much
definitely
emulate any
excellent for emulators.
AM2 game.
Mhm.
I can pretty much emulate any AM2 game, arcade perfect, in 1080p, 60 frames a second, and they look better than ever on my PC.
Xbox, go
Imagine that
home.
on a console.
Mhm.
Right. So it'd be nice. I don't know why they don't do it. Streets of Rage 2, man, make a brand new Streets of Rage 3, even if it's 2D side scroller with 3D graphics, but do it right. 4-player co-op, 3-player co-op,
Yeah.
whatever. But
But
do
like
it.
I
Those
Contra
mean, they got a
Hardcore,
lot of
man.
IPs, man. It's the same with Microsoft and Sony. They have a
those
lot of
are
old
beast
IPs that
awesome.
they could use that people
Yeah.
want. I mean, there was a thing on Twitter 2 or 3 days ago about PlayStation fans actually tweeting out, you know, we want a new SOCOM.
Yeah.
You know, you get
Yeah, but
people
to be
that
honest with
they
you,
want a lot of stuff. There's people
they,
asking for Crimson Skies.
yeah,
Yeah.
those PlayStation games though don't hold the threat against Xbox or Sega games that
Oh
are
yeah.
older.
No.
They
No,
don't
but
even
I'm
hold
just
the
saying.
threat.
Well,
Have,
right.
I know what you're
oh,
saying though.
they got
You know
impact.
what? It brings
In
me
other
back
words,
full
they're
circle.
vocal. They're vocal.
Wait,
Well,
this just in. The Street Fighter 5 beta, which is supposed to be starting now, is not working because of PSN.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
not working, right?
it's not
so
working.
right.
My
So here
PS4
we
I
go.
can't get it
Live
going.
update that PSN is failing to fucking play a fighting game.
Oh, hey,
Mhm.
I can't wait for Call of Duty because I am going to
Kenny
troll
Thomas, thank you for telling
everybody.
us this.
I
Kenny
have been
Thomas.
trolling
Hey Jay, we were just
everybody
talking about
on
that
the
earlier.
Tomb Raider shit.
We were just talking about that earlier. Can you imagine? Because you know, Call of Duty is so heavy on multiplayer. So is Battlefront. They both come out about a week apart from each other. Could you imagine when there are floods of people that try to go in and play those two games during that time span? What's going to happen to the PSN network?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
it's gonna be troll for the city, bro. And then
We're
you're
gonna have
gonna
to do
get
a whole
these people
podcast
that are
about
gonna
it.
be
It's gonna be big.
DDoSing that shit because you know there's gonna be some
It's coming.
hacker trolls
It's
that are gonna
coming.
try to DDoS that week because they're mad because it's not on the Xbox One at the same time. Guaranteed.
Not only that, it can't absolutely, but not only that, it can't handle the traffic. It cannot handle the
Oh yeah.
traffic. It's not going to be able to handle it.
Well,
And
you
the same thing's going to happen. What about Street Fighter when they try to use it for the Evo circuit and it crashes
Well,
there, and they don't have another copy to fall back on like they did this time around?
well,
That
you
shit's going
also
to be funny.
Star Wars. I mean, Microsoft trolled the shit out of Sony with Star Wars. You get it a week before it even comes out. So-called exclusive to
guys.
the PlayStation first.
Yeah, go
Guys,
ahead, Jay.
Kenny Thomas from the comments, shout out to him. He just let us know that IGN gave that shit indie port, a 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Journey got
Oh,
a 10 out of 10.
You see
Master
what
Chief
they
Collection.
That's to be expected, dude. But they gave Ori and the Blind Forest an 8.5.
And they gave
You know what I'm saying?
they also gave God of War 3 a fucking 8.8, and it was I think it was like a 9.1 when it first came out. So they only dropped it down a few points.
God.
Oh my God!
Dude, Journey.
Watch when
You
Gears
seen
comes
the
out, they're gonna
Uncharted
give-
collection? People sitting here ooh and ahhing over the Uncharted collection, and you put Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 4. Same. Night and day.
Well,
Right?
Yo,
Nothing
during
different.
that Uncharted collection, watch it. It's gonna get a 10 out of 10.
Watch.
well,
While
you
the
know,
Master
Dude,
Chief
watch.
collection can
Sony,
barely get
Sony
that.
has not failed at being the
Watch.
console
Watch.
for casual gamers.
And watch when Gears of War Ultimate come out. I guarantee you they're gonna give that shit like a 7.5 or
Oh, yeah.
8.
Yo, the
I
Master
though
Chief
it's
guarantee.
collection's a
next
fucking
to
12 out of
hours.
10. Just the content alone. The shit you can do
Yeah,
in
the
that
con-
game.
Even though Gears of War is gonna come with next to 2 more hour campaign, it's gonna have
Mhm.
extra maps. It's gonna have extra
Mhm.
PC release maps. They're adding a whole
The
new rank
story mode
like
that will never
lineup
be.
system. I mean,
Mhm. New CG cuts, absolutely
oh yeah,
redone from scratch. Listen, dude,
everything's done from
Halo
scratch, man,
Master
on
Chief
that game.
Collection set the standard for all collections.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Period. They set the
Well,
standard,
hold on, hold
and
on. One,
even
2, did. 3 and 4 were just really port overs because
yeah,
they just
but
uploaded them.
the point
Yeah,
I'm
but
getting,
look at the
package,
treatment we
the
get on
package,
ours
the package
compared.
in itself,
Oh yeah, but
the
I'm just saying
itself.
if you want to be 100 on what really happened, man, you can really only count 1 and 2 as being complete remastered.
Oh yeah,
You know.
but the package had the maps. Remember, it had
Yeah.
100 maps and 7 of them were
Oh yeah.
redone from scratch. But what I'm trying to tell you is, they gave it and dropped the merits on it because of the performance online. But the fact of the matter is that nobody keeps bringing up, which I've said before in my video, in response to somebody else. The
It's
game
biased, man.
was not only that, but the game was never beta tested because it was supposed to be a surprise. Nobody was supposed to know that it was the whole collection. It was just 2. You get what I'm saying? So it was a surprise. So they didn't beta test
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It got beta
What I'm trying to okay.
Well,
Well,
man, they had 4 different. It was like 4 different
It was
UIs.
6
6
engines
different-
with 4 different developers.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
You know?
Well, what I want to say,
we
what I
talked
want
about
to
that last
say,
time
hey,
with that multiplayer.
Mhm.
what I want to say when it comes to this shit, man, when it comes to like exclusives and all this, um, I've grown up gaming, and I know the difference between a good exclusive and bullshit being peddled at me, and I know that whenever I bought a title that was made by Sega, you could bet your ass it was better than any multi-platform, any fucking other title. If you own a Nintendo and you bought a game by Nintendo, it was better than all the multi-plat games on that console. Okay,
Mhm.
But them
and it's
two companies put
okay.
love
If
into their
it's the
games,
same
bro.
with right, it's the same with Microsoft though. If you buy Halo, if you buy Gears, if you buy Forza,
Fable,
or
Forza, yeah.
yeah, any of these games,
Yeah.
you get the feeling that you're buying a game that is worth the money. You know they put
They're
there's
invested in
more
their respective
there, right?
genres.
Right, exactly. These games, okay. But what I'm trying to say is Sony has yet to make an exclusive that is better than a multi-platform game. That's what I'm trying to say.
I
When
got
are they going to make a game that okay, put it this way. How many multiplats can you name are better than Halo? None. How many multiplats can you name better than Gears? None. Or Forza? None. How many better fucking games can you name that are better than a lot of these fucking games like
Well,
Crackdown and
I gotta cut you off on one thing. When you talking about better, are you talking about just in gameplay, or are you talking about in sales, or what? Because you gotta be
no,
specific.
no, no.
Gameplay.
Someone's gonna come in here and troll you on that because you're
Right,
not
right,
being
right, right.
100%
Well, no,
specific about what you're saying.
with Halo, okay, with Halo, I mean, as far as like features, I mean, you've got a full single player campaign, you've got a 4-player campaign as well because you can play with people. You've got Forge mode where you can design levels. You've got multiplayer.
Okay.
You've got all these different multiplayer, game types, and like I said, on top of that, you've got editor modes. You've got film mode. You've
Theater
got
mode. Yep.
theater mode, and then you have
I can only
the,
think of one, and you probably would
right.
disagree with me on this, but
What's
it's
that?
only on one specific part of the game. Far Cry 1, editor mode, theater mode, that had some of the best online features.
Yeah. Far Cry
when it
has some of
first
those
came out.
good. Yeah, Far Cry has some good
That's the
features when it
only
comes to
one I can
editing
think
stuff.
of if you're talking
But-
genre to genre
right.
first person.
But I
shooter.
mean, all of those features. Far Cry still doesn't have 4-player co-op campaign. What I mean is like
No.
the whole, the whole enchilada, man.
package,
like everything,
the package.
the whole package, right? A game that just offers everything. When what I'm saying is when you buy a Microsoft exclusive the quality is usually higher than that which you would find in a multi-plat game. But anytime I've ever bought a Sony exclusive, I feel like I'm buying a game that could have been multi-plat. I don't feel like I bought anything
like
special.
it wasn't finished. They don't feel
Right.
finished.
Prime
I don't
example,
feel like
man.
that. I don't have that special feeling like that. I never have on any Sony exclusive. I don't have that feeling like, holy shit, this is better than the other games on this platform. I feel like, oh, I'm playing a game that's not really as good as some of the multiplayer.
I don't mean to cut you off, but prime example, Uncharted collection right now, no multiplayer. 30, you know, they're locking it at 1080p, 30 frames a second.
All it's
it was already
getting is
at
the
1080p,
negative
30 frames a
1080p
second
and the
on
60
the
frames. That's it.
other one.
Yeah.
That's all it's getting. It's not even getting an overhaul in the textures or shaders or lighting.
No, nothing. I mean, a prime example. You want to talk about it right there. There's a prime example. You're telling me you can't put the multiplayer in that game? I mean, you're supposed to have a 50% more power than the Xbox One, but you can't even put multiplayer.
Say that again. Say that again. That was awesome.
But guys, remember, we always give them shit because they do not have a competitive game that's as good as Gears, Halo,
no competitive
anything.
value on any.
And then they come at us. Oh, we got Uncharted. Uncharted's got a great multiplayer. It was great enough for it to be removed. That's how great it is.
Yeah.
No. They
hold
on. They did have a great multiplayer, but they screwed that motherfucker up to high hell, and that was MAG. MAG had so much fucking potential because it had bad servers, it had bad net coding and everything like that, and the maps were so fucked up that it didn't do well.
Right.
I'm telling you, MAG went on Microsoft, was developed by Microsoft, or was developed for PC, that game would have killed fucking PlanetSide.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, let's talk about the exclusives and like I said, the quality. I mean, you know, the quality of game like Alan Wake, in my opinion, this is what's funny, dude. Yeah. If any
I love
of you,
Alan Wake more than Uncharted, I'll tell you that much.
Alan Wake.
I think what Next Gen said earlier today is correct about what's it called, the insider that leaked information about Tomb Raider. I went and looked him up, and he's the same one that was also talking about the whole what's it called, Silent Hill rumor that Microsoft may be buying that off. So I'm going to see what happens with Gamecom with that, because if that is true, and that does happen.
Well, all I can
tell you is this, Jay. He did not tweet nobody back all day. Everybody that tweeted him, he just stayed silent. So there's a reason for his silence.
I tweeted that.
That's what I'm saying. So did I. But everybody that tweeted him, he stayed silent. He did not talk.
What's your Twitter?
There's a reason for his silence.
Let me follow you.
Same thing.
or Aaron?
Hey, Jay. Hey,
all right.
Hey, wait. Hey, Chief, wait. Let's get. What do you feel? Because we didn't. I don't think we asked him properly. What was his feeling about that announcement about Tomb Raider coming to PS4 today? What was your take on it? How do you feel about it?
This summarized exactly. As soon as I seen that thing, I tweeted out to everyone. You know what? Lord, Miss Clicker, we got on her knees real good today because she gave the PlayStation fanboys a new game this year. Tomb Raider.
Oh, that was you. I saw that tweet. I did see that tweet.
As soon as I seen that, man, I said, Mrs. Clicker got on them knees good because she gave some goodness.
I saw that tweet. I didn't know that was you. Yeah, I saw that tweet.
Yeah.
That was funny. But what do you feel about it? Like, as an Xbox fan, as a gamer,
man, to me,
what is your personal feeling about it?
To me, it's business. I mean, Square Enix is, and I'm not pulling a race card here, but they're Japanese. They're going to support the other company. Yeah. I felt like they undersided Microsoft. Granted, I don't think Microsoft even knew that this was going to come out today. I feel like they were rushing to the scene.
That's what I said.
So, you know, it is what it is, but I want to see if Silent Hill is actually true. Let them have that one. Look, they can have my dog shit for next year, man. That's all I got to say, because once that game comes out, I'll play it. It'll be done. You can have my second-hand shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I said we're gonna.
I said the same thing.
That's what we said. That's what we said. Look,
It's not even
that
a
we're
year,
gonna
man.
drop
In
Laura
2 weeks
Sherry.
after Tomb Raider comes out, ain't nobody gonna be thinking about it anymore because it doesn't have multiplayer. It's story mode only. So usually when you have games like that, if it ain't an excellent kick-ass story, you're only gonna replay it maybe once or twice, and then after that you're gonna put it in your collection. And it's gonna sit up there and look all pretty with all your other desk collectors.
Right, right.
So I mean,
But we're gonna pop its cherry, and they're gonna get the sloppy
yeah,
seconds.
call it spades a spades right there. It's gonna be what
Like
it is.
I think Chief or Kaleidoscope said this. We're getting it right out of the oven, fresh off the grill. They're gonna get it once
Right.
it's cold in the fridge.
Shout out to him.
And
They're waiting for that shit.
And I'm gonna do just like what Crap and Mooch said, man. I'm gonna be the first time you see me on YouTube, I'm gonna play the whole thing on YouTube and say, here you go, your second-hand ponies. You can have my seconds.
In Christmas, we're gonna be playing it on Twitching it, and they're gonna be like,
Oh yeah. And I'm gonna
"Where's
title
our
the
Wait,
game?"
wait,
I'm gonna title the thing,
Until
ponies. Here's
dawn?
your sloppy seconds right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
I
mean,
still think it's like, at the end of the day, it's like everybody's been like Chief said and been vocal. It's a smart move.
Oh, well,
business-wise. It
it's
is.
funny, man. Look how
It
the
is.
media
But I
is just
think
like,
I
oh,
think
now
what's-
we're all about Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah. Now it's all about
Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Now it's
Exactly.
trending. You notice how it started trending
yeah,
once
it
it got
got
announced for PS4?
yeah, exactly. It got people
And it's
talking about
still, but it's still okay that Street Fighter is exclusive to PS4. That's the other thing we can't forget. It's still okay. That's
They
all right.
can have
There's
that
nothing wrong with
garbage
that.
ass Street Fighter because I'm still trying to
Yeah.
get on the goddamn beta right now.
But I'm talking about principle. That's what I'm talking about. It's okay still for Street Fighter to be there because they're not going to talk about it like it's bad anyway.
You know
but the
what? I
thing
want
is,
to
I
see
think
Digital
what's-
Foundry
I-
do a testing on Street Fighter. You know, they want to do
true,
testings on
true.
Halo
Right,
and all this
right.
other bullshit. Let me see a testing on Street Fighter.
It's Street Fighter
You know?
90 frames. Let me see
Right.
that.
Well, look, my son shout out to my son. He
Street
pointed
Fighter
out
won't
something
even
real
be
funny.
60 frames. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
He said today to me that he said to me today that that he looked at the GameSpot article talking about, you know how they said the developer said no, that Tomb Raider will be 1080p on Xbox One, you know, and he said that they said that the way they worded it was like, yes, as of right now, Tomb Raider is 1080p
Man.
for the demo, but let's see if the final product will carry over the 1080p. Like they were still trying to downplay it to make it look bad. You know
I'm
what I mean?
banned from every IGN site, man, out there.
Fucking
No,
idiot.
I went on there, and I went out there and
GameSpot did that.
trolled
GameSpot.
them IGN boys.
Oh, did
Oh,
you? Did you?
that's like
Awesome.
two. I'm banned from there
Awesome.
too.
Well, look at this guy. The guy from that was in McCaffrey's podcast. He was like, "It's a Tomb Raider just seemed boring. It didn't seem like nothing new. So Uncharted
Yeah.
felt fresh to you. What the hell are you talking about? You know how
Well,
stupid
you know,
sound being a
it's
professional?
so funny people sit here and say that Uncharted is better than Tomb Raider, but if it wasn't for Tomb Raider, we wouldn't have Uncharted because the lead
Exactly.
director
Or even
Uncharted,
Gears of
that
War.
he got Tomb Raider, Uncharted idea from Tomb Raider. That's why it was called codename Dude
Dude
Raider.
Raider. Yeah, Dude Raider was the code name for that game. That is not a lie.
Yep.
Right.
That is a fact.
Well, and they also copied from Gears because that was the cover system where the cover system came
And
out.
Prince of Persia with the platform.
It was just horrendous though.
It was an
I think-
evolution of ideas that they didn't come up with, and Tomb Raider
Well,
had
I
been there
mean-
way before they had.
You
Right.
You can call spades a spades too, man. Most games nowadays are just evolutions of multiple games. You hear people talk about Halo, where it's like, oh, it's Modern Warfare. No, Modern Warfare, Advanced Warfare is Crisis, and these other games that are on PC, like Lost Planet and stuff, that have already had these thruster packs and jet packs and bullshit. So you just calling one to another.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
just
When Call of
just so I can
Duty
finish
came
my-
out, it was like, oh, this is new. No, that's Counter Strike. You know,
Right.
like
much.
we played. No, it's not new. It's new
check
to
this
you.
Just so I can end my thought about it, because I don't want to feel like we're just ranting off about the same subject. But Tomb Raider, see, I think the reason why it's resonating with like a back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Paladin? I lost Paladin.
Hello, are you there? Did you
My
pay
ear,
your
my
local-
Hear me?
Yeah.
Like
phone
bad,
the other
like
day?
bad. Sorry, like bad taste in people's mouths, like some of the Xbox people, is because of the fact that Phil Spencer said we won't make this game better for another platform, and it's like Dead Rising 3 and Rise. type of deal that it will come to PC but nowhere else. Now that's why it leads you to believe that this was a leak. Somebody opened their mouth ahead of time because they got scared because the game hasn't got it pressed.
Well, I think they got
it
pressured
hasn't got
too,
it
man,
pressed.
by Sony. I think Sony went over there and pressured Square Enix and leaking that shit because they needed something to help them out
Like
for this upcoming
maybe they
season
paid
because they
them.
know they're
Maybe
getting
they paid them.
spanked.
Maybe they
Oh
paid
yeah.
them money. Maybe they paid them some money.
Well, if you look back, man, Square Enix and Sony do have a good partnership, even though Sony pulled out on some of their stocks and stuff. I mean, they're still buddy, quote unquote. Just like people say
They have some
Microsoft
type of
is buddy with EA.
Right, they have some type of relationship. Right.
Yeah. It wouldn't
So,
surprise me if they went over there and said, "Hey, you can link this today so we can get some news out for us. Give us some good news."
Yeah, because you notice
Okay.
since E3, you really haven't heard no kind of news from Sony other than
No, you haven't heard
the
anything, and they
Uncharted
don't
collection. That's it. That's all you've been hearing. Uncharted collection. Uncharted collection. Oh, when is Uncharted 4 coming out?
Oh, and No Man's
When can I
Sky.
play? When can I play my PS3 games? When can I play?
Or No Man's Skies, because I tweeted that out 2 or 3 days ago to IGN on another.
Wait, real
I
quick.
said, when
Yo,
do I get
Ghost
No Man's
Rider.
Sky?
Ghost Rider, you want to join the call? I see you in the comments, man. I want you in here. All right, continue.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, bring him in here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, continue.
It's the same thing with No Man's Skies. You keep hearing Pony saying that that's coming out this year. When are we going to see a release date for that? Tokyo?
Right.
I mean, it's the only time they have a chance to give a release date for it, unless they're going to pull it out on IGN or something. Well, they can't do that because that monthly thing is almost over in, what, 4 or 5 days?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, which one? The
IGN does that little monthly thing for
Oh yeah, with No Man's Sky. Yeah,
and they still haven't put a release date. They showed the whole game, but no release date.
Well, I tell y'all this, I can't wait to get Rare Replay next month and the Gears of War remake, and then
what are you talking about?
And then on top of that, the month after, don't we get Forza Motorsport 6? The month after that.
We get Rare Replay, then we get Gears of War, then we get Forza, because Forza comes out September.
I'm a fanboy. We get before Forza, we get Mad Max. I gotta play.
Mad Max.
Oh, Mad Max.
Well, that's third part.
That's another good one, though. I don't care. That's a good one.
Mad Max looks nice, and that's September 1st, the same day as Metal Gear. And I know most people are gonna buy Metal Gear, but I'm buying
Metal Gear.
I'm not buying Metal Gear.
No, I'm not buying Metal Gear.
Yeah, I'm in a room with Splinter Cell fanboys, I guess.
I'm a Splinter Cell fanboy.
No.
I'm a Sam Fisher fanboy, dude. Sam Fisher.
I will give my opinions why I will not buy Metal Gear. It is because they are cutting my boy out of the damn title.
I feel the same way.
Hey, you know who would win? You know who would win? Solid Snake. Hey, Solid Snake versus Sam Fisher. You know who would win?
I know.
Batman.
Then what's it called? Do a death battle with it? If I'm not mistaken.
They should, man.
I think they did.
Sam Fisher would kill the hell out of Solid Snake.
I think they did do a death battle with that, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. Yeah, they probably did. It probably was funny as fuck too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Cause I remember looking at that thing because I looked at that Goku.
Jay, I'm with you though. I don't like the fact that they're gonna get people to buy their game, and after they disrespected Kojima like that. And the thing is, most people are gonna be like, "Well, wait a second, but it was Kojima's body of work, so I got to play the last thing he made." I was like, "Yeah, but not like that." His name needs to be on that
his work anymore. If you're gonna take him out of the cut and you're gonna put him out of the name and you're gonna do all this bad publicity with him, it's not his work. So fuck you, Calm. I am not buying that game. And until I see Kojima on the title, you can take the fucking shit right up your ass.
Right.
Especially after that $30 demo, man. And you know what? I feel like some people got. I put it like this.
You know that is the fastest game in gaming history that's been beat, right?
I feel like some people got conned on that, and they feel like they're gonna get their money back somehow by buying the game when it comes out.
Ghost Rider.
Good luck with that.
He bought it and he didn't even know it was just like a demo. He was like, "What the hell?" He talked about it in one of his videos. He was about that.
A lot of people did, dude. They thought it was the game because a lot of people saw the trailer for the full game and then saw that come out and thought it was it and bought it.
If I tell you what I bought, you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, you crazy, dude."
Hey, that was a fucked up Kickstarter though.
I bought that game though. I did buy that game because that's all I had to play on the PS4 outside of Infamous.
Right,
Oh man,
right.
that was
bought it.
that
I
was the
just bought it because I
Kickstarter of the
wanted. I
day.
wanted. I just bought it because I wanted Xbox, the Xbox, to have support too, and not get all the numbers for PS4. That's why I bought it. But I knew it was a short game. I already knew. I just didn't give a fuck.
You know another
I
thing
was
that
like, I'm
shows
gonna buy it, just sell it on Xbox. Fuck it.
another thing that shows the media madness. Y'all heard that Rocket League's coming to the Xbox One, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you don't
yeah.
hear anything about IGN or any of them talking about that, correct?
What
But
is
that-
coming?
Pretty much every
That's all they've been
indie
talking about
is
for the
from
last 2
Xbox,
weeks.
man.
Yeah. Like Hellblade, they talked about it the other day. Hellblade's coming, and they confirmed it after they were trying to say it was going to be only on PC and PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And the developers confirmed it, so now it's different. Now they won't talk about Hellblade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's just so funny.
Hellblade.
No, it's the same thing with Halo 5, man. Halo 5 was gonna be probably one of the best Halos, I think, in story mode. But you don't hear them talking about it. But you look back at Halo 4, Reach, and all the other ones. Oh, they were all on them. Fucking Ryan McCaffrey was all about Halo back then. Now he ain't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No,
it
because
looked good.
because now what they're trying to say is that, oh no, it just feels like the same thing. They don't really feel like they're evolving it or making it fresh. So where the fuck is it that they changed they got Locke in there?
Wait,
Why the
wait,
fuck
where
is it
did
that-
he say that, man? Because I'm gonna go off on his ass.
No,
Who
the
said
guy
that?
that guy that be on their podcast, the one with the little
Yeah,
with
that's
the
what
red
I'm
hair
talking
with the
about. Ryan,
glasses.
did he say that? 'Cause
No,
I'm
not
gonna go
Ryan,
off.
not Ryan. The one that's a pony, the one that claims that he's a Gears fan. That he has red hair, he has like a dippy ass
Oh,
little
you talking
face.
about the red hair glasses, fucker?
Yeah, I can't stand that fucker. He was the one that said, "Oh, that Tomb Raider looked boring. It didn't feel like nothing different."
He's
or
got me
fresh."
banned on
But yeah, he
everything,
was-
and
but he was glorifying everything on of Uncharted. He was the one that was talking all that stupid shit. So he said the same
Was
thing
this
about
motherfucker
Halo.
talking about Uncharted on the Xbox podcast? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
oh, dude, they do that all the time. Go look at their
They do that,
their
yeah,
Xbox.
because-
I'm not,
podcast.
just because
They
you
will
told me that, I'm
pull
not doing that. I'm
shots.
not supporting dog
They will
shit
pull
like that.
shots
Hell
every
no,
time.
fuck
No,
that.
I'm not telling you to watch it to support.
Horrible.
I'm telling you to watch it
Horrible.
to see how fucked up the fuckery is on IGN. That's what I'm telling you.
Because
No,
as soon as you go watch their podcast, and literally it goes, they will talk about an Xbox game, and then they'll compare it to something that PS4 has or PS3
right,
has.
or
and it's
or
back
trying
and
to
forth.
say or downplay it like it's they're not doing it like as great as Sony, but they're trying. Dude, the fucking game they tried to say that was the best thing that Microsoft had was Sea of Thieves. When we don't really know exactly what's going on with Sea of Thieves.
Oh, yeah.
They even try to downplay Recore, saying
And
that,
how
well,
they're downplaying
what's really the big deal?
Gamescom.
Yeah, they were like, what's really the big deal? You just get a core and you can reattach it to other things. That's it. It don't really seem too different than
So,
other things.
open
That's-
world that
they
changes with the weather, with the desert storms,
Mhm.
that introduces new areas and new hills and new caves, and games
as the
that
weather
use
progresses, right?
exactly a game that's going to be like Zelda
Y'all follow
mixed
the
with
report on
open world
Twitter?
shooter.
What is?
Dude, the fact that it's a Kenji and Fune-san game.
Are y'all
That's
following them on
enough.
Twitter?
I believe I am.
No,
What
I
game?
haven't followed.
Did you see their they sent it was a little short, like 10 to 15-second trailer on Record that they showed off where like she's walking
okay.
through the desert, and at 1 second while she's walking through it looks all nice and fresh, and then the storm comes in and it actually changes the environment.
Whoa, dude,
No, I
dude,
didn't
dude.
see it.
First of all, man, that's I was saying a minute ago, before we started this, I was saying, look at the games that we have coming, and look at the developers, the pedigree behind the people making these games. You got the person behind Metroid Prime making Recore, man. This game looks fucking amazing. It's
And
going to
Mega
be
Man.
phenomenal because of the pedigree behind it. You know that the people making this game have made great games beforehand. Same with Remedy and Quantum Break. The same with Platinum and Scalebound. You know, these Sony guys are such fucking Johnny-come-lately fucking noobs, such fucking casual gamers, that you ask them who's making the game that they're excited about, and they don't even fucking know. I mean, they're excited about this dumbass
Dude,
fucking game called
Record-
Horizon. Let me ask you a question. If you're excited about Horizon on PS4, do you have amnesia? Did you forget that fucking Guerrilla Games is making that? Did you just completely block out of your mind at the end of that trailer it said Guerrilla Games? Did you
Also,
have you forgotten that Guerrilla Games has shown fucking trailers to how many Killzone games that looked like they were going to be great, and that game came out to be complete and utter fucking shit.
You're forgetting one more thing about Guerrilla Games too. Their stories are shit. They completely not follow their lore at all.
What good games have they fucking ever made for me to get excited about this game for? I know when these Xbox One games hit, they're going to be fucking good, and these dumb Sony fans don't even know the dumb fucking companies making the games for them. That's how fucking ignorant they are, dude. I know the games are going to be good that I'm going to play based on the pedigree of who's fucking making them and the games that they've made prior. These motherfuckers are excited about games made by Guerrilla. Guerrilla Games. I mean, if you're how fucking delusional, how delusional do you have to be fucking excited about another game from Guerrilla Games?
To give them the benefit of the doubt.
Oh my god.
And I know that's not my job, but to give them the benefit of the doubt. The good thing about it is maybe because they're doing something different and something fresh, they will actually make something worth your while. But
I can agree with you about with one point, but not really, because I mean their story sucks.
But based on their history,
yes,
their stories are very weak.
Based on the history of this company, what am I supposed to get fucking excited about? All right, same with Naughty Dog, dude. They're mediocre trash that is peddled as a fucking great game.
Yeah, I know.
It's fucking okay. Like somebody compared it to Citizen Kane, which I think is a great comparison because as a movie fan, I think Citizen Kane is one of the stupidest, most overrated films of all time, just like I think that their fucking game is one of the stupidest, most overrated fucking video games of all time. So yes, Citizen Kane and that game go fucking hand in hand, and what game besides that, what game has Naughty Dog ever made that was any fucking good? They've never made a good game. The game they made that everybody thinks is good is mediocre at best. If it was a third-party fucking title, everybody would have been like, meh. But because it was a Sony exclusive, everybody jerked off in a fucking big circle over it.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that, man. Jack and Dexter and Ratchet and Clank, the old ones back in the PS2 and PS3 days, were good games. I mean,
they didn't make Ratchet and Clank.
They didn't make Ratchet and Clank, dude. No, that was
Jack and Dexter.
Oh, yeah. Jack and Dexter, what may have been their best game. That's not saying much. That's not saying anything, really. Jack and Dexter was not that good of a game, though.
You know how you know
it was a really good platform.
It was a good game. It was a good platform. Yeah, it was.
Dude, Naughty Dog has been around since Sega Genesis. Do you remember any of their games on Sega Genesis being any good? Listen, I'm just telling you, Sony buys the worst companies that the cheapest thing they can afford, and then they fucking tell them what to make.
Fun fact: Sony actually made games for the Sega CD.
Yeah,
games were on there.
Sure.
Hook was one of them.
Yeah.
The game Hook.
Well,
here's what I was gonna get at with Killzone. I mean, everybody in here knows Killzone Shadowfall, right? That game was complete negative, Joe, on anything because the opening story for the game. Here's the opening story for the game. We blew up your planet. We left you to die in space, but now we're going to give you half our planet so you can survive.
Yeah, so I've got a question for you. Okay, did Killzone 1 live up to its trailer? No. Did Killzone 2? No. Did Killzone 3? No. So do you think Horizon, by the same developer, is going to live up to the trailer you saw? If you do, good luck with that.
I compare Guerrilla Games, man, to Cryotech.
Right. Well, Crytek? Nah, I'd say no. No. The Crysis games are way better than the Killzone games.
Yeah, but they're better, but their stories are very bland.
They're not really as gameplay is all that matters, man.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm getting at, though, man. They're the same thing. They make beautiful, interesting games to an extent.
Right. I don't care how bland the story is if I'm having fun playing the game, and I did not have fun playing Killzone games. And what I'm trying to say, is
games, but they're not
fun. Right. Three. Okay. No. We're talking about a company who has made Jack and Dexter, which is a mediocre game, and then the last three games they made. The last 3 games they made were garbage. Were literal shit, okay? I'm not going to get excited about something after they just made shit 3 times. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm talking about, guerrilla games. But if you're jumping back, I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah, with Naughty Dog, it's the same thing. Naughty Dog never made a good game. Jack and Dexter was okay, and with the Last of Us games, they're all. It's basically a game with elements that we've played before in every game we've ever played.
I like The Last of Us.
Okay.
I like that game.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have what you call their small moments, but they're still
the games are good but overrated.
Last of Us is still an overrated game.
But I will say it's an overrated game, and I'll tell you this: at least what I'm saying is for fans of that game, at least they had a prior game to. Okay, say if you're a fan of Jack and Dexter, you had a reason to be excited about the next game. What reason is there to be excited about any Guerrilla game? I'm just saying. That's my only point.
Like I said, man, Guerrilla, and this is why I said that Microsoft has some of the better lineups, because they dove into the story. Microsoft is very lore focused. When you look at their games like Gears, you look at Halo, they're very lore focused. And you can sit here and not say that story doesn't count. But when you're building a game,
it counts for some people.
Counts.
I'll tell you what.
Well, story counts for a lot of things, man. Because if you don't have a good universe, I mean, take Star Wars for example. If you don't have a good universe, no one's gonna want to keep coming back to that universe. No one's gonna want to keep. That's the same with a book.
Wait.
Yo, go
you guys remember the game called Shell Shock? You guys remember the game on OG Xbox called Shell Shock?
Shell Shock. Yep.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that the one where you're escaping from prison?
Yeah. That game was developed by Guerrilla Games. I didn't know that until now. Yeah.
I don't remember Shell Shock at all.
I remember Shell Shock, and I remember the second one, and the second one was terrible.
They did the first one.
What I mean is their track record isn't good. But what I mean, and like I said, and it's the same with all their exclusives. They're all, I mean, you know, great or not. As far as exclusives go, they're never like better than anything a multi-plat, or nothing better than the third-party company would offer. I mean, again with
you gotta also understand too. I mean, not with
the pedigree,
not just with Sony.
Well, like I said, the history that Remedy has, I'm excited about their next game. The history that Rare has, I'm excited about their next game. There's nothing at Sony that has any history. There's nothing at Sony that says to me, "Oh my God, they're gonna make a good game."
Well, that's because they lost all their better studios over the years. I mean, Sony has literally lost. If you look from the original PlayStation on, they have had good studios, and then they lose them. They went to third parties.
I'll ask you a better question. What games did they have, even from PS1, that was great, that you want to play again?
Gecko.
Exactly.
Gecko. The original fucking Crash Bandicoot.
Gecko. No, that was not a Sony exclusive.
That was not an exclusive.
It wasn't a Sony exclusive, but it was one of the ones that I do want to play. I know it was on Sega Saturn.
Yeah. That's what we're saying.
I'm talking about
we're talking about how bad. Yeah, the game they haven't done.
I can't think of anything. You're right.
When you came in this podcast, the first thing you mentioned was Jade Empire.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Which was an OG Xbox game.
You have memories of your OG, and you can say what game you want to play. You can't even. The PS1, and it had.
But you gotta also remember, I'm a huge Sega fan, man. Because we got in the last podcast about Mr. Bones.
Yeah, Mr. Bones. I was looking at gameplay the other day. The game is great, man.
Yeah, but what do you think about this? Hey, well, yeah, 3 doors. I just got through.
Oh no! You know what?
I still play that game so often. Y'all wouldn't believe it.
What happened? Go ahead, Jay.
I can't think of one from PlayStation.
Yeah, he named one. He named one. Twisted Metal. I can name 2. Twisted Metal. And Twisted Metal, Parappa the Rapper, and Wipeout.
Parappa the Rapper, dude, that shit was ass. I'm sorry.
Dude, Parappa the Rapper can't be anything more than a $10 digital title.
I didn't say they were good.
Parappa cannot be done if it's over. If Parappa's over $10, that's a fucking ripoff.
That's a $10 game.
And no disrespect to next gen, because I know he likes the game. I don't like the game. I thought the game was so dumb.
I thought the game was dumb.
It was
Look,
they were trying to do almost. I don't even know if that's even true, but
it was a QTE game.
They
It was
were
a
trying to do
QTE game with
like
music.
Space Channel 5.
Space Channel 5 was
They
a
were trying to
better,
do.
yeah. Space Channel 5 was a better game in that ilk, in that
Yeah,
genre,
Space Channel fan. It was real good.
for sure. And yeah, like I
And
said,
guys, sorry for bringing it back to Shenmue, but I just looked at some Shenmue 3 footage, and man, those animations look like shit. They look
Dude,
robotic. They look
you
like
know what?
trash.
That's
Goddamn.
not. I want you to take back and go look at that, and then go pull up Xbox One
Mhm.
Shenmue gameplay. It's the exact same engine.
Yep.
So that's telling me, as of right now, that game hasn't started development, and you're looking at trailers from the original Xbox Sega Dreamcast days, and they're
Well,
just running
supposedly,
that as teasers until now.
The only good thing about it is the lighting because of Unreal 4. And that's
Yeah.
a really good lighting engine right there. But the animations look like shit. The models look like shit. Ninja Gaiden, if it had
Well,
better
here's the
lighting, it
thing.
would look better than
Can
that.
you honestly tell me any other game that he's made in the last 14 years?
Oh, Yu Suzuki?
The guy,
Yeah.
Oh, the best games he made was Afterburner Climax and freaking.
No, I'm talking about after Shenmue 2. What was the last games that he's made? Because I can't think of any.
Well, what I'm telling you, it was Afterburner Climax and Outrun Coast to Coast. Those were the two best
I
games.
bought
But
Afterburner.
they're arcade games.
Yeah,
They're not
Yeah.
epic.
Afterburner was.
So he hasn't
Climax
made
was
he
awesome.
hasn't made in 14 years a true
No.
exclusive that is
Right.
first party, that is AAA.
Just arcade games, right?
No.
So we're backing. Let me get this right. You just backed $6 million for a guy that has not really made anything good in the last 14 years. Now, what does that tell you?
Well, I mean, it's
Nobody's
it's
that
a
does
big.
hard, bro. They be on that.
Look, the last
But
game,
in
the
all
last
fairness,
game he made was Outrun 2, which was on the OG Xbox, I think.
When does Star Wars Battlefront release?
No, it's Outrun Coast to Coast.
Oh, that does be good, man.
Outrun 2. I don't even know if he directed Coast to Coast.
Yo, anybody
'cause
know
it's not on his list right here.
Anybody know the Star Wars Battlefront release date?
It comes out
Guys,
in November, if I'm not mistaken.
J-Long. Star
No.
Wars Battlefront, no?
It could.
Well-
I know it comes out sometime in November because it comes out right
Alright.
after Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of the things that are coming out soon that I'm really excited about. I know Gamescom is coming out. Gamescom is coming out.
The only thing I'm excited for Gamescom is I want to know, and this is just my opinion, but I think Scalebound may be like a Destiny MMO. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but from what that first trailer they showed at E3, the first thing that pops in my head after that trailer, Phil Spencer said he loves him some Destiny, and I'm thinking
Well,
this game.
all I can say to you,
I'm thinking
is
It's gonna be a train. It's gonna be a Train Your Dragon game.
I think it's an MMO, man. I'm just gonna state it.
Well, hey,
check this out.
well, I mean, however the game comes out, it's gonna be up to the gameplay of whether it's good.
I think it was Ron
yeah.
Ferguson
And
or Aaron Greenberg. One of those two. I forgot who it was. Tweeted this week. He said, "Xbox One fans are in for a big treat with Scalebound. Just saw the demo. It's incredible." That's all he
Well,
said.
yeah, I see that tweet, but what I'm stating is you're talking about two guys, because Aaron Ferguson and Phil Spencer are both Destiny fans. They're both huge on Destiny, and they've said before in their tweets that they want something like Destiny on the Xbox One. So, and then
but
you
it's
go look.
platinum, though. It's got to be over the top. So
I think it may be over the top, man, but I mean, it could be. I would say it's like a half. I want to say it's an MMO version of Monster Hunters, is what I'm thinking it looks like to me. I'm thinking it is that.
I won't be excited if it is. I'll be mad, but that's me.
I'm just stating that that's what I think it's going to be. But
I
I'm
bought
gonna see what
Destiny.
gameplay is.
Anybody else bought Destiny when it came out though? Anybody?
I did.
No,
I did too. And you know what? I as much hate for that game as I have, I never felt like I didn't get my money's worth. I mean, I played it for a month solid and enjoyed it for about a month, and then I was done. Other people were able to continue fucking playing the same goddamn shit over and over again. I couldn't do that. But I enjoyed it for the month that I played it, and you know what? I still would join a PvP map or a PvP match if I got an invite. The multiplayer wasn't bad, but I mean, once I beat the game, I was done. But I feel like I got a long 3 player game that was pretty
That
decent.
you can beat in 5 hours.
I'll put it like this: what they sold you on was a lot more than what they gave you, and that's where the problem sets in. Is the expectations of that game were way beyond what they delivered, and even though yet it was a good game, it was not a great game, and that's what I hope Scalebound is.
So it was a Sony
I am
exclusive,
not
basically?
going to get started on that because I will go in a 4-hour rant on how fucking Bungie and Activision took a giant fist up everybody's ass and said, "You taking this for the next 10 years."
Oh, well, look, I agree with the fist up the ass and all that, bro. I mean, look, it is definitely a gimmicky game, and like I said,
no, it's not the gimmick. They
it
literally
is a gimmick.
they cookie cut the shit out of that fucking game, and they fucked everybody in the ass, and they sold it off goddamn Bungie name alone.
Look, put it this way. For all those I tell you where they made most of their money off all those poor thirsty Sony fans that have been dying for a Halo game. That's where they made most of their money. And then you had your Call of Duty fans that wanted to upgrade to something a little more advanced, and then you had your Halo fans out there like me that was like, oh, this should be good. This is Bungie. This ought to be good. I'm going to give it a chance. So you had a bunch of people out there who bought this game for different reasons, and some people liked it and some people didn't. I'm in between. I'm in the middle. I stay in the middle. I hate it for a lot of things, and I could go on for months.
You want to hear the
if I went on a rant about the things I didn't like about it, you would think that I didn't like the game at all. But there are certain things I like as well. So it kind of evens it out. In a way.
The funny thing is that you talk about that. Josh Holmes, the guy that created Destiny, the one that was working on the project for 10 years, left and went back to 343.
Yes, and I don't blame him, man, because Destiny is at the end of the day a pile of shit.
It's compared to
it's an average.
Wait, hold on. Who's playing Street Fighter 5 right now?
I don't know. Some guy I've been following for a while. He's streaming
How
it.
How the fuck is he in the goddamn beta, man? I'm gonna cuss his ass out. I can't even get in that shit right now. I've been on for an hour.
He's been here for a couple minutes, and there's been nothing but a black screen until now.
Hey, just get on 360, play Street Fighter 4. It's the same goddamn game. But anyways, back to what we were saying. I just want to
play it, man, just to talk shit about it.
I know, yeah. I'm telling you, it's the same game as Street Fighter 4 and 3.
Let's just see if the network will fucking work, because I want to see this shit crash live.
Hey, anybody remember Street Fighter 2010 on NES? It was before. You remember that?
Yeah, the Mega Man style game.
What the fuck did that have to do with Street Fighter? It was like the first Street Fighter game, though. It was by Capcom.
He got fucking disconnected live. This guy, this poor guy.
Oh man,
this poor guy.
Man.
Hey man, but we're paying $40 a year for that good internet. That good internet, man. I got a good argument today about
this poor fucking man, dude. This guy. Look, I've been following this guy since like 08. It's a Street Fighter. No, 09, since around Street Fighter 4's launch. He's a big Street Fighter dude. Now this motherfucker's probably disappointed that this shit isn't working because
you know what's funny?
I'm a big.
Guess what's trending right now on Twitter?
What?
Hashtag better PSN.
Look, I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. I'm a big Dead or Alive fan. I'm a big Soul Calibur fan. I'm a Virtual Fighter fan, and I've never fucking cared for Street Fighter.
I love my Street Fighter. I don't care what you say, man. I love it.
I got, you know what? I'll love playing Street Fighter. Hey, I love playing Street Fighter 4 with backwards compatibility on my Xbox One and Marvel vs. Capcom on my Xbox One. I don't really need a fucking Street Fighter 5. It's the same game.
You know what?
They all play the same, bro. They all play the same.
Street Fighter shit today got leaked because Sony knew that Street Fighter 5 was gonna fuck up for them. They had to have something good to talk about because it was gonna go on them about that Street Fighter.
Wow, Jay, you really got your mind on fire today.
Man, I don't know, man. If you're a Street Fighter fan, I'm sorry, man. That game is
no. Think about it, man. As ponies. Now just think about it as these ponies out here.
Ponies don't like fighting
got
games.
it. Sony got
From
it.
what they used to say, from what I heard from Ponies last year, they didn't like fighting games.
Well,
Especially,
listen.
look,
listen,
I heard
bro.
that a lot after Killer Instinct was coming to Xbox One
Yeah.
exclusive.
Yeah, we
I
don't
saw
need
that
a fighter.
in every comment section. I heard that
Garbage.
fighting games don't even count as
They're a
exclusives.
dying breed.
I heard that
Oh.
fighting games are a dying breed. I heard that fighting games are all this bullshit about fighting games when Microsoft had Killer Instinct.
How's that
Sony fans
how's that
hated
90
fighting
frames per
games.
second, though?
Now they all of a sudden
hold on, though, man.
Street Fighter's
You-
coming out
You
exclusive.
gotta remember
Oh
though,
boy,
for the
we're
last
fighting
year
fans.
they've been hounded
We know
about
everything
Street
about
Fighter.
fighting games.
They've
I'm
been
sorry.
hounding about Street Fighter, so you know today if they didn't have anything good to talk about today, what was gonna go on?
Street
It
Fighter,
was-
look, Street Fighter is that game for kids
still-
whose mommies and daddies wouldn't buy a Mortal Kombat.
I'm on M4G
Okay.
right now, and the
Street
top
Fighter's
story
fucking
is-
great, man. I don't care what you say.
Listen,
Yeah, right.
we're on
Come on.
We're on
Ponies
M4G.
Trolling now, man.
The top
Come
story.
on.
Dude, why is it bad though?
Hold on.
There's
Let's
like
talk about
5
M4G.
moves per character. It's literally
not that
as
for
far as
me-
Nah, it's
fighting
more
games.
than that.
As
For
far
me-
as fighting games
Hey,
go,
man.
it's
not that it's
literally it's kindergarten. It's
For me,
preschool.
Hey.
it's not. For me,
It's
it's not that
preschool for fighting games, is what
For
it
me-
is. And
for
if you
me-
like preschool, if you like finger painting, then Street Fighter
Oh,
is good.
Chief, hold on, listen. For me, it's not that it's bad.
I'll be right back.
The problem with me with Street Fighter is it has not evolved. It
Well,
has
a lot
new
of games
characters.
don't
It ha-
evolve
he-
yet.
he has- but Killer Instincts from the original did evolve. You get what I'm trying to
Oh,
say?
yeah.
There's
Well,
a
I
difference.
mean, look at
Street Fighter
Mortal
hasn't
Kombat, man.
evolved, dude. It just hasn't evolved. Street Fighter feels like Mortal Kombat. It's always feel like it doesn't evolve. It just feels nicer graphics, new characters, no evolvement. That's it.
Mortal Kombat's fucking sluggish, man. I
Oh,
just
hell
hate the
yeah.
movement of it.
Of course.
It's so sluggish.
Oh, and I'm a
It
huge
feels
Mortal
like
Kombat
shit.
fan, but I'll tell you right now, that game hasn't evolved worth shit.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm saying though, with the pony shit, man, if that shit didn't come out with Tomb Raider today, man, them ponies would be hounding about that Street Fighter 5. So they needed something good to talk about today.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm on M4G and it's still the top story. Street Fighter 5 beta kicks off on PS4 with server errors.
Oh man, I wish
I
I could
know,
still.
yeah.
You know, I got to make another fake account for M4G so I can go in there and ask how them ponies feel about that netcode.
I knew that was going to happen, though. I
Look,
knew that
it's
was gonna
funny. It's
I know.
fucking hilarious that these motherfuckers are saying, "Oh, let's Capcom, let's Capcom, let's Capcom." There's no Sony.
No, man, that ain't Capcom because
I
you could go
see.
play a Capcom game right now on Xbox. People don't realize that them servers that they're playing them nets on, man, is based off of what Sony's network is, based off what Microsoft.
They
You
don't
know,
realize
network.
that,
Mhm.
that those servers are important.
Yep.
They make a big difference. They're important.
So I want to know where that $40 a year is going to, man. If it's not
It's
going to
50
the,
with them. $50 now, right?
No, I thought it was 40.
No,
Yeah, you're right. 50.
50 is
Yeah, you're right. $49.99 because it's $10 left in Microsoft.
Mm.
So yeah, but I want to know where that's going. I mean, you got what, 11 million? Actually, hold on. Let me look at the active users right now on PlayStation. Active
It's 11 million.
users on
11,
PlayStation.
11 million.
No, it's just tonight alone.
Oh,
active
but
on
that's,
PlayStation.
but that's counting PS3 and
Yeah,
Vita.
it's counting PS3, but it's sitting at 14.6 million.
Okay.
So you got 14.6 million users on PlayStation right now actively, but you can't keep your network up.
Right.
So the PlayStation Network is crashing because of the Street Fighter beta.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna be
Well,
destroyed on Call of Duty beta. That game won't even.
Dude, that game's gonna crash on the first Evo tournament. I can't wait.
I'm gonna tell all you
Yo, this
ponies
is
out there
fucking
too,
sad,
man. Lord,
man.
First of
Vibes will
all-
be in the house for the rest of the year.
First of all,
The beta for the next exclusive next year is not fucking working. How bad does that look on Sony's part?
Well, it's as bad as Uncharted crashing right on stage. On
Well,
the
here's the funny
Hey.
thing too, man. Did
It
you see
didn't
Halo
crash,
5
the controller died.
crash?
Yeah, right.
Did you see Halo 5 crash when it came out with the beta?
Oh, yeah. It crashed it right.
No. We didn't see Gears crash when it came out of the beta.
But they want to
Oh,
do
yeah.
We
those.
didn't see anything.
But they want to do those analysts at 720p, though.
Oh, you know what? I got on fucking what's it called, Digital Foundry. I asked them on their little thing. I was like, "How are you gonna do a test on a goddamn YouTube video?" And I got blocked immediately after I said that.
Huh.
They never got back with me on that. Like, I really want to know, how do you sit there and count the pixels
They're not gonna
on a
answer
YouTube video?
because they got no balls. They like to fucking start shit, but they got no balls. They won't answer the question.
I mean, I still want to understand that. Like, I wish someone could tell me how you count pixels on a YouTube video. When it came out, you had no hands-on time at E3 for Halo 5.
Mm-hmm.
No, not to mention, dude. Okay, we got Rare Replay coming out. We got fucking the Gears of War remake. Star Wars Battlefront is going to be a week early on the Xbox One. That's another fucking
exclusive. Also,
that's another fucking hilarious thing. Is that
That's a slap in the face to PlayStation fans.
yeah.
They were
Right
pissed
there.
about that when that came out.
Right. I mean, you know, we get Star Wars a week early, and we get Tomb Raider a year early.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Then we got other great games coming from Remedy and Platinum Games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got the best developers. We got the best games.
You got the best everything, dude. There's nothing.
It's gonna be awesome
If you
for
don't
us.
own an Xbox,
It's been hey, I can say this, dude. It's been an awesome fucking 2 years now for the Xbox One,
oh, shit.
and
I'll add you right now, Jacob.
It's gonna get better, dude. It's
well,
just
if you look
getting
at
better.
it, man, you hear all these ponies say that we haven't had anything good this whole year for 12 months. But now let's look. Next year we have 7 games coming out this holiday that are good. We got 4 that are exclusives. Then we have 4 more that are exclusives that are coming around in between.
They haven't even topped. Here's the thing, dude. They haven't even came out with one game that is an answer to the exclusives we already have. They don't even have a racing game as good as Forza. They don't even have a third-person shooter as good as Gears. They don't have a first-person shooter as good as Halo. They don't have an open-world game as good as Sunset Overdrive or as good as Dead Rising 3. Like, they are so far behind on good games that even if they came out with 5, they still wouldn't fucking be able to catch up by fucking next year.
Hold on. Let me finish. So their answer this year is Bread Until Dawn, which is a movie game.
Oh my God, Bread! I am Bread and Until Dawn.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, and No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. And then next year, what is their answer? Is Uncharted 4, which
is Uncharted 4, but they're supposed to have Street Fighter 5, okay?
Street Fighter 5.
Jackson Dexter,
which is already
a real
Jack and Dexter, which is a reboot.
A real reboot, a real one.
Yeah, that's the
first
reboot.
real reboot. Horizon and supposedly.
You hear? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna correct you on that Horizon shit real quick.
The Last Guardian also.
Hold on. I'm gonna correct you on that Horizon shit and the Last Guardian shit. Last Guardian, the week of E3, the week after E3.
Wait. What is it called? Wait, what is it called, J Long? It's not the Last Guardian. What is it called?
Last Gen Guardian.
There you go. The Last Gen Guardian.
About Last Guardian, though. People didn't realize that
Last
the guy
Gen Guardian
on E3 show floor and said that we don't think that Last Guardian is gonna come out next year.
I know.
That's the reason why I had a placeholder.
But they also put an article saying that it was for 2016.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying.
It looks like a Vita game.
That's what I'm saying.
Right now that game is not gonna come out. I have a feeling they're gonna retract that.
Supposed to is what I'm saying. I didn't say supposed to.
Yeah.
And then Until Dawn, they claim that game's
God,
gonna come
that's
out.
not even a game. That's a quick time event.
Yeah,
that's
not
game.
Until Dawn.
They're already trying to say that the game is great.
My bad. Not Until Dawn. Horizon. I do not think Horizon's gonna come out next year either.
Me neither. Me neither. No, but and also we got to take into account that we don't even know what other surprises and stuff that Microsoft has here that we don't know about.
Well, yeah, but no offense to anyone out there that's actually big offense to Pony fans. When you put placeholder dates out and you haven't had any release dates yet, they're placeholder dates. So that's telling me right there that you have nothing
about what
to deal with.
And what you're watching on my screen right here, this is fucking a badass game right here, man.
Which one?
I can't even see that well.
Can you see it? When it should pop up.
Is that Sleeping Dog?
No, you can't
Oh
see
man,
it.
don't you dare bring a sleeping dog.
What is that shit?
Undead Labs game, man.
Oh, State of Decay.
Year 1 edition. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Another fucking great exclusive, and I cannot. It's really dark. It's hard to see, but I
Well,
mean, I
yeah, it was the
can't
same
wait
thing
for the
with
next game you
people were
guys
talking
make.
shit about Gears of War 4 because it was too dark.
Well, it's nighttime in this right now,
Well,
so
yeah,
that's why.
well, the thing was, the idiots that were talking shit about Gears of War 4, fucking Ryan
Oh
Ferguson
yeah.
came out and stated that they're going back to the roots. Does anyone remember Gears of War 1 was a very dark and gritty game? Doesn't mean it's not going to be a good-looking game, it just means it's going to be a dark and gritty game, kind of like, fucking Dead Space. They were dark and gritty games, but they were beautiful games. And people need to get off that goddamn Phantom Dust because that game ain't coming out. That is our Xbox One fucking Last Guardian. That is our Last Guardian because we will never.
Nah. It'll come out. It just ain't gonna be. It might not.
It will be 8 years, bro. Because they stopped production on that game and they said that they weren't gonna give them $4 million to develop the game because they didn't want to put that in the budget. So that game is going to be our Last Guardian. I will give the ponies that one.
Well,
Wow, look, I'm still looking at the Street Fighter beta right here. The guy was playing training mode for just a second, and he got disconnected again.
Wait, he got disconnected
That's
from playing
PSN for you.
offline?
playing the training mode.
I don't know.
I can't even get into the store right now. To
Well,
do the
check it out.
download.
Horrid. Fucking horrible. Fucking unacceptable, man.
I can't wait for this Windows 10 update too.
Speaking about Windows 10, it has a built-in screen capture, so you don't need to download any third-party software to get
program
games.
for the streaming for the thing. I don't know if you will do if y'all are in the preview program for Windows 10, but do y'all get knocked off y'all's internet
Yeah,
like unexpectedly and shit?
Yeah, if you're in the
I
preview
don't
program.
have it.
I do. I get have you had where you can't sign in sometimes?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't either sign in or you get knocked off. Your internet knocks off.
Yeah.
Part of the
That, as a matter of fact, I know a couple people that were like, I want to be in the preview program, and I'm like, well, you're gonna have to deal with issues because that's part of testing stuff out. Right. Yeah, but
it takes me when I try to get on my laptop or something and it knocks me off.
Well, the good thing is like I know somebody who was on it and then they uninstalled it and all the problems stopped. So if you ever want
to try that.
If you ever want
Comes
to
out in
quit,
5 days, Windows 10.
yeah, you can quit the beta program if you want. But I would just
screw that, dude. That streaming on Xbox One is beautiful, man. Because when my girl's asleep, I can sit there, pull up my Surface, put the streaming in, plug in my damn controller, and play. And she ain't gotta sit there and look at the TV. That's people sitting there dog shitting that streaming, but that streaming is better than the PS Now. I had PS Now for 3 months, and it was.
No, wait a minute.
Shit.
First of all I heard was how good fucking remote play. Oh, remote play. Oh, you got the remote play on the fucking PlayStation. Go buy a Vita so you can do remote play. But now they're trying to downplay it. The fact that you can remote play on any device. Like, how is it? How is it?
Laptop, for that matter. That's
okay.
the best aspect of it.
A few months ago, it was good to go buy an extra $300 peripheral that you really didn't need just to use remote play. And now I'm being told you don't need to buy anything, and it's not good. You don't want it.
Well, it's the same thing with some of these ponies, man, that don't
Sony
understand
fans,
that you can get
they'll hate on something.
PlayStation Now without having to use a PlayStation 4. They
Well,
don't
put it
fucking
this way.
understand that shit.
Put it this way. Okay, they fucking love remote play. They fucking bragged about it when they could do it with their Vita, but now that we can do it with any Windows 10 device, they're trying to hate on it. That is so funny, man. That is so funny.
You got a guy trying to ask to join the chat.
Someone is asking to join the chat.
Yeah, he says, can you resend it?
Alright, I'll resend it to you right now. Alright. You guys can carry on.
Oh yeah, man. No, but that stream is actually pretty good. I will admit that I have seen a few lags, but I mean, it's a beta. That's noticeable.
Yeah. I've been wanting to know about it, like, cause you can't do it on a phone. You have to have a tablet or
I
Windows
haven't
10
I haven't
PC.
tried. I've tried it on my Surface. I've done it on my Samsung Smart TV. It's worked out
Nice.
pretty well. I've done it on my PCs. Worked out well. Now, like I said, it does have frame rate issues where it does drop sometimes, but it's very few and in between.
Yeah.
For being a beta, the only problem I have with Windows 10 right now is it keeps knocking me offline every now and then.
Mhm.
Or I
Yeah.
have sign-in issues, like when I first tried to sign in.
I would say that's a part of being in the beta program. It has to be
Yeah.
because only the only people I know that deal with those issues are people in the beta program.
Yeah.
But as far as that, I mean, it's a good service. I mean, I will say it's a lot better than PS Now because people sit there and get on to me like, oh, you didn't have PS Now. I will show you that I had 3 months worth of PS Now, and that shit was trash.
Mhm.
I will not pay for it again. And you ain't gonna get me for paying for PS3 and PS2 games anymore. Nope.
I mean, look at it. Yeah, exactly. Because think about it this way: we're gonna get all these remastered. I mean, every 360 game that is coming out through backwards compatibility will feel like a remastered game. And I don't know if you've played any of your backwards compatible
I've
games.
played a few of them, and
Oh
I
my
will.
God!
And even with me, man, I will
Wow.
still admit as an Xbox fan that there are every now and then there are some frame rate issues. I see
On
stack
the
time.
backwards compatibility?
Yeah, on the backwards
there are frame rate
compatibility.
Oh
issues.
yeah.
Yeah,
Man, mine's been
they
working
will have some
good. I've
small
been
frame
so
rate
Well, it's
issues.
not some
impressed.
games. It's not all games.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I've
not
been
all.
okay. Cause so far on all the games that I've tried out, I've been so impressed by the
I
just not
believe
only.
Mass Effect has the worst of it when it comes to
Yeah,
frame
Mass
rate
Effect
issues.
1 has by far the worst.
I haven't tried that yet. But yeah, the other games that I have tried, the digital copies and stuff that I played on the backwards compatibility, I was impressed. It looked like
Uh,
it felt like I was playing
I'm not
remasters.
gonna. I'm not gonna get too hyped to backwards compatibility until I see their full 100% list. Because my biggest problem with this is I want to see how long they support it. Because if everybody remembers, the 360 had backwards compatibility, but it had a very short support time on it. They
300
had
games.
they had that was it. I mean, compared to the Xbox original library, 300 games were not really that much.
Hmm.
Well, they didn't have a lot to begin with. I think they had a whole library of like 900. I think it was.
Yeah, but
360
I
has
mean that's still
900
less than
physical.
half.
No. I'm talking about the Xbox original. 360 had
Oh, I don't
900
know.
only.
900
Well,
physical.
Physical, yeah, but you remember they also had digital.
if you're
Xbox
Yeah.
talking about
One
region lock, because
they didn't have digital. They didn't have
I
that.
don't know if you bought a lot of the Japanese region lock games that were in Japan or not.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I have it.
Yeah, for the original Xbox, 'cause there were some really good ones.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah, man. There was a fighting game that I loved that they had. It was what was it called? Like
Wow.
Steel Series. It was like this Japanese. What was that other? It was based. It was kind of like Tekken, but it was like I'm trying to remember the other game that they had that was kind of
Hey,
like
what
that.
up,
The
Jacob
Xbox
Snake?
original.
What's up?
Yo,
Oh,
what's up, man?
Good,
Welcome
man.
to the show.
Good to be here.
Yeah, man, good shit. So, what do you make of this whole situation with Tomb Raider?
I mean, honestly, I don't know why ponies are bringing this up now. We knew about this since, what, 2014? I mean,
Hmm.
yeah,
they're
but
bringing it up
the
now all of a
reason
sudden. But we're going?
the reason why they're bringing it up is because Phil made that whole tweet out stating that we're not gonna buy an exclusive. We're not gonna publish and do all this for a game that is not gonna be exclusive. I mean, that's not his
Right. Yeah, he
exact
did say
words. That
that.
is basically.
He did. Yeah, he said, yeah,
So,
we're not gonna help invest in a game that's gonna come
and
out
that's
on
the
another
same
platform.
thing with the DirectX 12 bullshit.
Well,
People,
I,
take the DirectX 12, what he said in the DirectX 12, and they take
well,
that out of content and say, oh, we can't
well,
say
the
anything.
thing is there's always double talk when it comes to
Oh yeah.
marketing. You gotta kind of read between the lines. And when he said that this is going to be exclusive holiday, I kind of felt like maybe there was a chance that
Yeah, but
might not be.
that could
But
have been PC.
but
Though.
let me say this though. Let me I'm also think about it this way though. Like I said, Microsoft they don't want to buy an IP unless they know it's a system seller. They will, however, they will invest in an IP. They will help like other companies build a brand and like do time exclusive deals but
I can agree to an extent, but Microsoft has done some bad business practice in the past with buying an IP and pretty much, in my opinion, failing the IP because of how they released it, and that's Sunset Overdrive. They should have pushed that game to the springtime.
But
That should have
Sunset
never came out in
Overdrive
the fall.
sold. It sold.
It
Yeah.
sold
The
well,
reason
but
why,
it would have sold
the
better if it
reason
would have
why,
launched in
but
spring.
it sold more than people know because they don't count digital sales.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I keep telling that to people.
And it was a
Yeah.
good game, and the
It
thing
was
is
Yeah, I got
you
the
know,
one day one.
right? And Microsoft has learned because of digital sales through games like Alan Wake that they can release. They've learned that they can release a game just like how like some movies don't do good in theaters, but they become DVD hits and then they
Yeah.
become cult classics. Well, the same way is happening because of digital releases. They can release a game and then it not do good on the first day, but over the next 10 years, it might become like a big fucking game. Like Alan Wake was a
I,
really good example.
I can
Sold
agree on
millions
that,
of
man.
copies
But with new
over.
IPs, you should not on a big
Right.
lineup in the holiday season. They should not come in the
Yeah.
holiday season
Well,
like that.
I
That's
think
why they're
That's
doing
just that's
Recore
my
early.
take on it
Yeah.
because you put something that's a new IP that no one knows really what's going on with that IP. No one knows anything about it. Never played the game. Up to stuff like Call of Duty, you got all these third parties and these exclusives in the holiday season. It's gonna
Yeah.
do bad. That's just bad business.
I
That
feel
should've
like
came out in the
Yeah,
spring.
like when
Yeah.
they released Alan Wake a week before Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, here I also feel this way, and think about it. Think about it this way: as a company that is trying to sell systems and sell software on it, they don't want to interrupt the sales of the third-party developers on their platform. They want. So the thing is what Microsoft tries to do is they try not to butt heads with the third-party developers. They try to release on odd months, if you ever notice that, except for when it comes to certain titles. And they like I said with Sunset, I feel like with Sunset they were like, hey, look, we got a new console. We need to show new IPs. This is the most interesting new IP we have. That's why they wanted it out there, and they've realized again that they can make up in sales over time, like like with Alan Wake. And with Alan Wake, they released it I'd say in a bad month, like you said when they released that. Yeah, it was not good timing.
Well,
But
I think new IP
Well,
should
Alan
have
Wake
their
came out
own
the same day as
release
Red
time
Dead.
period. In my opinion, I think they should have spring, and then AAA's really top line exclusives should be
but
holiday season.
Matrick was in charge when they were releasing games at very odd times when Matrick was in
Yeah.
charge.
I don't know if you guys remember this though, but Alan Wake came bundled with 360s too.
Yeah,
a lot
it
of people
did
forget
it?
that.
And
I never forgot that too. Yeah,
after a while,
It did.
but
No, I
if
think
that,
yeah. After a while, yeah.
well, the thing is it felt like Matrick was making the same mistake Sony is making. They were trying to pin their fucking exclusives up against the third-party games, which you shouldn't do that because the third-party games are part of your library. It's like competing.
remember.
Well, you can't compete with third party. First party
what
will
Don
never be able to
Matrix
really
did-
compete with third
What
party.
Right.
What that Matrix did is considered dumb business at the time because it had to do with 360. Now it has to do with PS4. Now it's genius. Now
Well,
it's amazing.
I agree
yeah.
with Alan. I agree
Please.
with Alan Wake's launch being what I'm trying to say. Alan Wake's launch, I believe, was bad timing. But with I have to disagree when it comes to Sunset Overdrive. I think it was good timing for that game. It was ready when they released it, and I don't know, man. I think it gave.
Yeah, but you could say
it
the
gave
same about Quantum Break. I mean, they what's it called? Remedy has already stated that Quantum Break is basically ready. They could release it this year, but they don't want to release it this year because they want to get that spring lineup. Quantum
Break is going to be a big behemoth.
Yeah, it's not just that, but they don't want to get swallowed up. I feel that they don't want to get swallowed up this holiday season like Sunset Overdrive.
You gotta also remember the reason why they released Sunset because they figured since these guys, Insomniac, right, they had already a following on PlayStation's community that they would support it because it's a game they made on Xbox and it was fresh, it was different, and that's what they were hoping for. But ponies, man, they stick hard with one another. They don't let go. If they're willing to wait a whole year to play a game like Tomb Raider, what the hell does that tell you?
They are.
That tells you how ignorant they are. They're just that stupid. That pony.
And I agree with you on that. But
pony does is serious, dude. That shit is serious.
But like I said, man, with the what the fuck it, I
Right.
just forgot the name of the game.
They're more
Quantum
excited.
Break basically
Look,
is already.
they're
Yeah,
more
it is.
excited.
No,
The Sony fans are more excited about Insomniac remaking a game they've already made than playing than
a
playing
new
the game that
right.
Insomniac waited 10 years to
Good
make.
point. Good point.
Here's my other thing about Quantum Break too that no one really talks about: the TV show
Yeah.
that's supposed to go with Quantum Break.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Is it done too that we
They
don't know
are
about?
they're gonna talk about that at Gamescom.
Yeah.
They're gonna talk about Quantum Break's gonna be a big part of Gamescom this year.
I said it up in a couple podcasts that me and Jay did earlier. I predict they're going to give the release date for Quantum Break for sure in Gamescom, and
Oh yeah.
it will be either January or February to kick off the year. I truly believe.
I agree with you, and I think it would be February. I think it would be February
think
because
it's-
they'll put
it's- I
something in
think-
March.
Yeah.
and it's going to be
yeah.
a good move.
Yeah,
A very good.
There's not going to be that many games out in the beginning of the year. Like with Sony did with Bloodborne, it's still pretty dang good because there's really nothing out at the time.
Well,
if I'm
they,
not mistaken,
that
did
game,
Bloodborne only sell 2 million units?
1
that
million.
game, that game
1
only,
million?
yeah, that's it. But that game only did well based on their standards, because based on real standards of like Xbox, that game is shit. It didn't do well.
Well,
That's
based
based
on
on-
just industry standards alone, Bloodborne
The
didn't do
industry-
well. I mean, the
Yeah,
guys
it didn't
that
do well
made
at all.
Bloodborne even said it didn't do well in sales for them. They didn't make enough money back compared to what they did.
I
in
think it did
development
well
side.
for the type of title it is, because Dark Souls never sells that well. The only
Yeah.
reason it sold was because they had Sony behind it.
I think it's also because it's a Dark Souls game. I mean, fans of there are a lot of huge fans. I'm a huge fan of Dark Souls, and that was one of my main reasons of getting the system was for that. So I mean, and I'll tell you right now, I didn't think it was that good of a Dark Souls game.
Oh, really?
Oh, it isn't.
That's what I've heard.
It's trash.
And I'm not a Dark
Yeah,
Souls
that's the same
fan,
thing.
so that's why I didn't want to even. I stay clear of it
That
to begin
game
with.
will not have no torch to the original Demon Souls or Dark Souls 2, and I'm not
Well,
even comparing it to
Dark
Dark
Souls
Souls
3
1. I'm
is
just
probably gonna
telling
be
you
a better
about the
game
2.
anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And,
so
and Jacob, since you got a Mighty Number 9 picture, I take you're excited for Recore? Since
Oh,
KG
hell
and
yeah,
Phoenix
hell
working
yeah.
on both?
Yeah, Recore,
Yeah.
man.
For
I'm
me,
kind of worried about Record though,
and
man, because they're
Gears
not
4
showing
and
it
other
at
games won
Gamescom.
E3 for me. Won E3
Yeah.
for me. 'Cause everyone's saying Final Fantasy 7, and the ponies are always saying, "Oh yeah, Tomb Raider is time exclusive," but they forget that Final Fantasy 7 is time exclusive. And Sony
Yep.
said they're gonna come out and tell us how long the exclusive deal is. So it's not like it's gonna be leaked or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I like that
Sony
Sony was a
said-
little bit more upfront, though. I like that.
My thing with
I'll give them
Record
props.
is I'm kind of a little worried about it just because of the fact that it comes out
Yeah.
next spring and
Yeah,
they
and there's
I
no
think-
gameplay for it. Yeah.
I think Recore
Right.
has been in production a lot longer than people know.
14 months.
and
Well,
it's
no. They said 14 months.
Right, but I
They
think
came
that
out and said 14
I think
months.
it's
And that's
more-
low production time.
But I think it's done. Remember, games are a lot faster to make now too. That's the other thing. Especially if it's using.
Is it being done with DirectX 12 or is it
Well,
not?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I
It
think
might
so.
be.
It's got to
It
be
might
because
It might be.
no, if they're just now showing it to us, it's definitely a fully DirectX 12.
Well, that's what I'm
game.
wondering. If it's
made on
DirectX
DirectX
12
12.
or if it's Unreal Engine 4. Also,
Well, yeah, it can be both. DirectX
DirectX
12 is just the API.
It's Unreal Engine 4. They both run.
Wait, they said there was Unreal 4 that Recore?
Yeah, it is.
No, it is Unreal 4. So then it does
Is it?
run DirectX 12 because DirectX 12 is ran with Unreal 4. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
Good ass engine.
All the new engines are, dude. Even the new Frostbite, everything is going to be
Yeah.
running DirectX 12.
And that's another thing. These ponies sit there and think the DirectX 12 ain't gonna be anything, but when you have that new UI that everybody's gonna be using, and you're still using DirectX 11, and everybody else is using DirectX 12.
Yeah, and when the games are made on DirectX 12 and then ported, so
Yeah,
they're going to
they're
get
gonna be dog
ports.
shit.
You know, that's what that means. That means we're
Yeah.
going to get the game and they're going to get the port.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't want to call bullshit on this, but I think that the first 2 years of the Xbox One has just been beta test because we haven't seen the potential
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
DirectX
Yeah.
12. And I still think that that's bullshit.
I think they launched because they didn't want to fall too far behind, even though they're still behind. That's
The
what I think.
DirectX 11 was just a placeholder, and that was all
Well,
it
yeah,
was.
and
It
that's
was-
why I said I think it's bullshit, though, that it is that way, because, I mean, we haven't seen the true potential, and I bought a $500 console that isn't even running to the specs that it should be running because I'm waiting on the goddamn DirectX 12.
Yep. which and some games are already running now. I mean, some games have already started, but they're hybrids. They were made on DirectX 11 and they're running on DirectX 12. That's what's going on now. And then I would say I guess Halo and Halo would be like one of the first
Yeah.
games fully made on DirectX 12.
I don't think that Halo's DirectX 12. I have to go
Yeah,
check on that. I'm
it's
pretty
not.
sure I don't think it
I
is.
don't think it is.
Halo
I think
5.
DX12 is ready.
Yeah,
all
Halo
those,
5.
I'm talking about Halo 5.
I think all
Well,
those games that are being done are
Hold
all
on.
prepared and done in a way where they can utilize DirectX 12 after it's released. That's what I believe.
I think they have some DX12 features in there.
That's what I'm
but I
saying.
don't think they're DX12.
Hold on. Here
Yeah,
it is
maybe
right here.
so.
But I think
Here
they're
it is.
fully updatable. That's what.
Halo 5 is running partial features of DirectX 12
Yeah,
according
exactly.
to James.
Right. Okay.
It's not
But yeah,
running
yeah.
all of DirectX 12.
I don't
So,
mean to
yeah.
change the subject, Paladin, but ever since you showed me that bodybuilder buying
Mm-hmm. What happened? Jay, you cut off.
Yeah, blah. The ponies, man, they're DDoSing them, bro.
No. Yeah, yeah, we lost him. Oh, he's-
No, I'm here.
I told
Okay,
you, man,
ever
ponies
since
DDoS, bro.
I showed you the bodybuilder, what?
Wait, do you guys hear me fine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ever since you showed me that bodybuilder buying a PS4 thing, I've been getting nothing but recommendations for his channel, and I'm seeing fucking buff black men lifting weights, and I don't want that shit on my fucking
I
page.
told you, dude.
I don't want to see bodybuilding on my fucking recommended videos. Tell these guys what happened with that.
I told you.
Oh,
These
go
guys,
ahead.
they do that shit just for They do that shit just for fucking. They just buy shit just because it's the cool thing to buy, man.
Well, it's the same thing people say that Xbox was the dude shooter console now, but now no one's calling out PlayStation for being
Right.
the dude shooter.
Yeah.
It's funny how they were talking shit about it, but now we're like, oh yeah, we got the monthly exclusives for Black Call of Duty. Yeah. Nah, motherfucker, you got that because you got our secondhand bullshit. You haven't noticed you've been getting all our secondhand bullshit.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider is now our secondhand bullshit. I hope you love that.
But yeah, the reason I brought the bodybuilder up was, look, we got people who haven't gamed since Genesis, people who've never gamed in their life buying the
Yeah.
PS4.
That's what I
For
said.
what reason?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, for hype, reasons of hype and marketing, commercial advertisements.
It's
And people-
the hip thing to do now, man.
Yeah, it's the hip
That's
thing to
that's
do.
the
It's,
thing.
yeah.
I mean,
They're not gamers, but they want to be gamers. That's what it is.
You know, I mean, I in the summer I got me a PS4, and I thought, holy shit, this is the most amazing thing. And then all throughout 2014, there was like nothing to play on it. And I was like, I got Drive Club, a racing game that looks worse than Forza. I got Little Big Planet that's on the PS3. Like, this is a piece of shit, and I sold it.
Yeah.
And I sold it in the games. I raised up the money, got me an
as far
Xbox One Sunset bundle, and I don't regret it.
As far as
Yeah.
racing games go,
And-
man, we got the same shit on our
Yep.
end with racing games. We got fucking, what was that, The Crew? The Crew was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Drive
I
Club-
mean,
Drive Club-
Forza
Hey,
Horizon and
right.
Forza 5 are amazing. You
I
know,
mean,
you
Forza,
better
yes, I'll
run.
give you Forza, man, but you're talking about racing games that came out
Racing
this year.
games.
Crew came
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and it was
Oh,
shit.
Fuck the Crew. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
shit.
So the crew was alright if you like that type of game.
If you didn't have no other choice.
Yeah, then and especially the Microsoft 2014 conference, I
You
rewatched
better
it
get
again.
back
I
to
saw
base.
Scalebound, I saw Halo 5, I saw all these other great exclusives. I looked at the PS4, The Order, Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4, like I wasn't really a big Uncharted. I have the collection on PS3. I think it's okay series, but eh.
Hey,
I-
Jake Snake,
I
what do
have
you think
nothing to look for.
Scalebound's going to be, man? What do
Oh,
you
no,
think kind of
I think it's gonna
Oh,
be
they
awesome.
said I linked the article in the chat. It's they said it's gonna be like a RPG action adventure type of game.
Nah, that's what they're speculating. Ain't nobody said that.
The
only person who said that
I was
dumb
about to say,
shit-
because
The only person
I'm
who
following
said
the
that dumb
Scalebound
shit
developers
was,
on Twitter, man, and I have
was
yet
the
to see
guys
them
at
state
Tick
that.
Podcast. The guys from Tick Podcast made an assumption that game was RPG. No one said
Yeah.
from Platinum that game's RPG. They
Oh,
said
never mind. It
they
said probably.
said it's Platinum Games. Think Bayonetta, but crazier. That's exactly what.
I'm telling you, man. I don't want to call it, but I have a feeling that game's gonna be something like Destiny MMO style. That people I don't want to call it.
Wait. Before you say that, how many Platinum games have you played?
I haven't really played that many, but I'm just
All right,
stating
well,
that that's the
see,
way
I
I
stay.
feel about
Look.
Exactly.
There's a difference. I'm coming from a Platinum Games player. I played
Exactly.
all their games, man. It's not gonna be that.
Yo,
It's
you
not.
recommend Anarchy Reigns, by the
We're
way?
talking about Platinum
8x3?
Games, dude. You gotta
Exactly.
play Devil May Cry and
Right?
Bayonetta, and tell
Oh,
me you.
whoa. Then never mind. I played all the Devil May Cries and then forgot that was a platinum game.
That's yeah.
That
The
statement.
Bayonetta, Platinum,
I
fucking.
did
Oh
not play
man, dude.
Bayonetta, man, because Bayonetta looked like a
You
guy.
know, hey, that new
Oh,
Transformer
shit.
game coming out. Have you seen that new cell shaded Transformer
Yeah.
game? That's Platinum Games. Oh man, dude,
Okay.
they're infamous, man. They
Ah,
make the best
Mad World,
fucking action
Bayonetta,
games.
Vanquish,
Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah,
Metal Gear Vengeance.
Greatest game.
Yeah.
hold on, though, but
Yeah.
I'm still stating, man. I think that's going to be a cross between Monster Hunter and some MMO Destiny. I'm just gonna
Hey,
say
put
that.
it like this: if it plays like a fucking Platinum game, I don't care. If
Oh,
it
I
plays,
agree with you on that. If
if-
it plays good, it's
if I
fine.
can
But I'm
if I
I
can
kinda
jump
gotta
on
be
if I
overall
can jump
package
on a
slash
dragon
football
and
player
fly
for that.
across a giant open
That's
world
what I
and swoop down and battle a bunch
It's
of
gonna
fucking
be an
crazy
open world
creatures,
cinematic game with crazy
Oh.
ass action.
You
I'll
know
be
what
happy.
game that Microsoft needs to lock up that I'm telling you right now because I play it a lot on PC and I think it's going to be a damn good game?
Huh?
Ark. Ark
Yeah.
Survival Evolved.
Ark
They need
looks
That's
to
already
lock.
weird,
confirmed for
dude.
both PS4
I'm
and
not
Xbox.
sure what to think about that, but it looks
It
cool.
looks
It's
cool.
interesting.
They
It's
need
interesting.
they need to back the developer that makes that game and they need to lock that game up.
It looks
Because
cool.
that game, when
Yeah.
it comes to Xbox and PlayStation, that's going to be a number one seller. I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now. Especially with these people that love Minecraft. Ooh,
Yeah.
that game's going to hit them. It's
It's
going to hit
gonna
them
be big.
hard.
What would you rather play, Ark or No Man's Sky? Just a quick
I
question.
would rather play Ark, man. I'm going to tell
Ark,
you
yeah.
right now, I have already invested over 200 hours in Ark.
Oh man,
Beautiful game. So I'm telling
It is,
you right
man.
now.
Wait, 200?
hmm
Oh shit,
holy shit!
that's crazy.
Dude, that
I'm-
is the game.
I've heard some hilarious stories from that game. I can tell you that. So, and as far as like the trailers I've seen,
Dude,
it's interesting.
the guns are dog shit right now. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They have improved them from when they first came out, but the guns are still dog shit.
Yeah,
I mean, but then at the same time, you're shooting a damn dinosaur with a fucking pistol. I mean, it shouldn't be doing that much damage to it.
I tell you what, it looks more interesting than what's
Oh,
that
it's-
other
No Man's
No
Ass.
Man. It looks way
it-
more. Yeah, No Man's Ass. It looks way better than that.
It's fun as shit, man. Granted, there's only like one main boss that you can summon right now, but it's fun as shit. It's addicting as hell because like if you like that Minecraft style
Not
gameplay,
really.
and then you like doing them MPV survivals, it's probably the only survival game I've played on PC so far that is a true survival game because when you fuck up, when you get rated, and you get rated down to the bare to nothing, you are investing another 14, 15, 20, 100 hours back trying to
Oh
get your
fuck
gear back up.
that! I don't know about that.
My
can't wait for
group got
Cuphead.
rated. My group
Oh,
got
hell
rated
yeah,
once,
Cuphead
man,
got
and
me
it took us
too.
3 days to get back in that game.
Yeah, I'd rather have Cuphead over No Man's Sky. To be
Oh
honest.
hell yeah, yes sir.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man.
Ashton looks good as hell too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If it comes between No Man's Skies and Ark, I'll buy Ark any day over No Man's Skies.
Mm.
I just feel that No Man's Skies is gonna run the same planets over and over again. The only difference you're gonna see is maybe like you
The
won't go to
colors,
that same
the
exact
colors,
planet
yeah.
2 or 3 times,
Right,
but
little colors
you'll
you
run
see.
into it. Because there's no way you could have something that has 1 billion planets on it. 1 billion planets on that engine.
Mm-mm. Right,
And not be the same.
right.
I mean, even some PC gamers are even calling that bullshit out there.
Yeah, hell yeah. With all that shit, it's too no way in hell, especially in that network. That shit ain't gonna work.
Not only that, man, but how? No offense to the guys that make No Man's Sky, but how you gonna be excited for a game when every time I see you talk about it, you're like, well, today, guys, we're going to take on to this planet, and we're gonna fly down, and we're gonna hit this little button right here and shoot this little. Oh,
I know.
look, I can
I mean-
I can scan this little creature right here.
I mean, when they
You
first
don't
showed it, it
sound
was
like you
awesome.
have-
And after looking at like half-hour gameplay footage of it looks really boring after a while.
Exactly.
They don't have any. You can tell the developer has no love for what the hell he's making because he doesn't show it when he's talking about it. And then if you look at the reactions of the guys at IGN, they're sitting there crossing their legs, sitting there moving in the chair, like, can we hurry this up, please?
Yo,
I
Paladin, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing right now.
Right.
Do you see what I'm doing right now, Paladin?
Yeah, sort of Berserk for Dreamcast. Absolutely.
Fucking told you.
Amazing. Amazing. That's the very first level, too.
Yeah, just
Yeah, that's where you find-
someone needs to come back into the consoles, man, because I feel that Sony will be out in the next 5 years.
Mm.
They're bleeding financially too bad to stay in.
That's what Sega's waiting for, to sneak in there.
yeah.
Well, you get everybody sitting here saying that they ain't bleeding financially, man. They're bleeding out their ass financially. I mean, they can't really hold anything. I mean, come on, Nintendo has more money in the pocket than fucking Sony has in the entire company.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a rumor today that they're gonna open up a third. That Universal's gonna open a third theme park just for Nintendo stuff.
That would be pretty fucking cool, no joke. No joke.
Here goes Nintendo. The motherfuckers that always do crazy shit and always get away with it, and everybody forgives them. I can't stand Nintendo either. They're other assholes.
I can't stand those stupid ass YouTubers like Mr. Red Fox and shit like that. I can't stand those guys.
Yeah,
Nintendo needs to fix that. They need this. No offense to the guy Wada that died. I respect him, but they need to put some new blood in there. Mm-hmm. Someone that's younger that can sit there and say, "Hey, we need to get with the times and stop being, 40-year-old men trying to fucking run a gaming company because they have no fucking idea." I mean, come on. I haven't played Wii U, but I hear what was that? Splatoon doesn't have any voice chat.
Really good,
How are you gonna play a multiplayer with no voice chat?
Yo, Chief, look real quickly.
I play my Wii U more when I have my PS4.
Right.
Wait, you got a Wii U?
Yeah, I have one. I don't play it anymore because
I got one too.
I haven't really played it that much.
The only thing
So is it really true about Splatoon not having a voice chat?
Yeah,
they don't want it. I mean, the developers came out and said they don't want it because he got shit talked on, pretty much. That's the only reason why I didn't like it.
Okay. Someone go to that developer and shoot him in the head a couple of times because he's a dumbass.
Someone make fun of me
him with the pipstick.
That's what happened.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it has voice chat, yet Smash Brothers does.
Wait, Smash Bros. Has voice chat? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Like, during the select menu, I think only when you're playing with friends.
Okay.
That's bullshit.
Yo, is Chief there? Because I'm playing Last Bronze.
Yeah, I see
I know
you
he loves
playing
this
it.
game.
Last Bronze is the shit.
It's probably running around like 10 frames a second on the screen, though, for you.
Hey, man, it looks like you're playing Shenmue 3 with the goddamn build of that.
No.
I think it's the same company. I don't know if Yu Suzuki makes it.
You got that new Shenmue 3?
Did y'all see that?
Shenmue 3 right there.
Did y'all see that Nintendo Direct, the E3 Direct?
That was bad, man. That was bad.
Dude, what's fucked up is that some Nintendo faggots are fucking blaming Iwata's death, why it's so bad. Oh, he's saying, he was dying. He was dying, so that's the reason why it wasn't as good, even though they planned this shit out 3-4 months ahead.
I think they did plan that based off of his sickness. Just hear me out on this. Just because of the fact that he's always been around for E3. I mean, the last 2 years he hasn't been there, but maybe this was his last wish that he wanted to be somewhere in E3 because he knew his time was up.
Yeah.
That's what I feel about it. I'm not saying that they did it on, anything else, but maybe they just wanted to show their respect, so they gave him his one little last final moment of being shined in the spotlight as a puppet.
Yeah, I mean, those puppets were pretty cool. The director shit, but the puppets were pretty cool.
Yeah, the whole intro thing. They did that 2 years in a row, and it was real cool. But they didn't have support. And by the way, just a little tidbit: Star Fox is being also developed by Platinum Games.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did not know that.
That's pretty cool.
And by the way, there's another exclusive that they're trying to get only for PS4 called Nier, which was also on
Nier,
360,
yeah, yeah.
also being done by Platinum Games.
Okay.
So they got their hands full.
Yeah.
Hey. They can have that, man, just like they can have that bread, bro.
I like how Platinum's got their hands like on everybody. They're working with everyone. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Well, I'm hoping Platinum, continues to make like good Japanese games because there's not many
Yeah.
good Japanese
Wait,
developers
Chief. By
left.
the way, look at what
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Well, there's not
yeah,
anymore because everybody's going to mobile.
Chief, I was
Yeah.
waiting for you. Look at this. Look at my screen.
Dude, speaking of Japanese games, I really wish Microsoft would
Okay.
publish Psycho Pass here in America.
Oh
Hold on,
man,
man.
that's Last
Hold on.
Bronx right there, man.
Hold on.
You
I
got
have
Last Bronx. How you like that shit, man? Isn't that
Pretty
good?
fucking good.
Oh my god, dude! Don't you wish
You
they
want to
still
know
had
what
that?
another good game that Microsoft had that they need to bring back?
What?
Lone Wolf Mech Assault.
Oh man,
That'll be dope.
Mech Assault was my favorite, dude.
Oh yeah, man. I had another one. Hold on, I had a list of a Japanese game that Microsoft had that I wanted to see bring back from the original Xbox.
They lost Guilty Gear though. Microsoft.
Hey, did y'all see that Wii U game Devil's Third or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Chernobyl.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet, man. I don't
Yeah,
follow
or
Wii U
did
that
you-
much.
there was a news came out today that's gonna have microtransactions in there.
Oh god.
Well, I mean, it's the guy who made Ninja Gaiden, you know.
I
And
love Ninja
every
Gaiden.
game has microtransactions. That's the
Well, yeah, and I agree with him that because ain't nobody calling out fucking 343 for having microtransactions.
every.
Yeah,
game.
but no, I mean it's kind of funny because usually the Nintendo fans are crying about that. I mean they
Oh,
call
yeah.
every game a microtransaction shit. I even saw some calling Halo dead for the microtransactions.
What,
and then
Nintendo fans?
I read the comment for the microtransactions thing in the article. That was sort of like, oh well, the game's still gonna be good, the multiplayer's still gonna be good. Like it doesn't matter. And then when Halo
Strikeout,
came out, like, oh
Battle
fuck
Street,
that,
that's what
fuck
it was.
Halo.
That's because they're still playing games that don't have microtransactions. I mean, if you've been playing modern
Well,
games and not Nintendo games,
Well, my thing
you're
with the
accustomed to it.
microtransactions, man, that it's bullshit because some content is locked, and I think it can be done in good ways if it's cosmetic
Yeah,
shit.
I mean,
But
I mean the content on
it
Splatoon
helps-
is locked on the disc.
it helps the developer, in my opinion, man, because developer they need
That's
the money,
exactly
man.
what it is. It's not there to fuck over gamers, it's to help developers because they're getting
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're getting fucked in the ass by fucking
Well,
gamers.
the thing with Halo, man, Halo is giving you just custom skins, custom armor shit, different things like that for the microtransactions. And here's
And
the way
free
I
maps.
look at it with
And
Halo.
free maps.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They're
that's
giving
crazy
you
too.
the microtransactions, and they're cutting off the pass for the DLC. So they're like, look, you pay for the microtransactions, we'll give you the DLC. Bam, win-win.
That's
And
pretty
free
crazy.
online
I
co-op.
forgot
That's
about
cool
that
too.
shit too.
Yeah,
that too,
and
yeah.
I mean, Mass Effect 3 did the exact same thing. Mass Effect 3 gave you all the multiplayer maps for free, and we paid. And look how much money they made off them microtransactions on Mass Effect 3.
Mm-hmm.
They made millions. They made more than what they made for selling
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And that's what's weird, dude, is because I know games that do this weird, like games like Call of Duty that charge for every single fucking multiplayer map and nobody says a thing. Then Microsoft, they give all the maps for free and want to charge for some cosmetic shit that doesn't even interfere with gameplay, and people are like blah 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 blah
That is
blah.
so true. Evolve
What
got
the
the same
fuck?
shit.
Yeah,
Why
I
are
mean,
they
yeah,
getting upset all of a sudden?
Evolve also.
Well,
No, Evolve, man, fuck Evolve. They fucked that game to high hell.
Well, so far
Well,
I bought Evolve day one because Turtle Rock is a good studio. They made Left 4 Dead. I
It's
enjoyed
a
those games
good
and shit, but
studio, man, and it's a
problem-
good game, but they put too
right.
much. The
Well-
money for the fucking damn monster skins and the character skins is worth. I mean, you might as well just go ahead and just slap that as a DLC content.
Well, the problem is, the stuff like that, it doesn't bother me because it doesn't interfere with gameplay. But the problem with me is I'm waiting on the maps. Where are these maps that they were supposed to bring out? That's the problem.
That game got ridiculous. That game got ridiculous. Microtransaction though and shit. That shit's crazy. That Evolve shit.
Some of the monsters
Yeah.
can be game changers, bro. That they
That shit is
did
crazy.
release.
Yeah.
If you don't
Jay,
have them and you want to get
hey
them,
guys, I'm gonna head out, man, because I gotta go
All
in
right,
the
man.
morning take my kids to school and stuff. It's been really nice. It's been like
alright,
3
man.
hours again, but you know, I had a lot of fun. Thanks again, Jay, Chief,
Yeah, no
All right,
problem.
Hebot, take it easy, man.
Hey
Brother
man,
Jay.
Lord Body was always here.
We got Jay, and the other guy's name is
Jacob.
Yeah.
with the mighty number 9.
Jake
Yeah,
Snake.
yeah, Jacob Snake, yeah.
Oh,
Jay
Jacob
and
Snake.
Jacob. We
Nice.
got
Hey,
Jay and
you got
Jacob and.
Hey man, just call me Lord Bot, cause I'm
Lord
I'm
Bot.
Lord
trying to
Bot.
get against.
Alright.
I'm
Not-
trying to get against fucking Lord Clicker, man. I love Show, bro.
Lord Bot.
Show is funny as hell.
Shout out
Man.
to Show. Yep.
Yeah, shout out to him, man.
Well, guys, yo, man, thanks a lot, man. It's nice to talk to you.
No
Y'all
problem.
want to
Alright.
check out any of my stuff? I have a YouTube small channel. Small channel.
Oh yeah,
on
man.
YouTube.
I'm
You can
always
check
on
out my
that.
video. You can check out my videos. It's on Hebot. I'm under Hebot. Same thing. So you want to check them out? I'm there.
I subscribe to all y'all already.
All right.
Good shit, man.
I think I gotta back out too, guys. I'm gonna
Have
I'm
a
gonna
good night,
actually
guys. Okay.
I'm gonna actually go
Yeah,
get me
good night.
something to eat.
I
I
guess
think I'm
it's time
yeah.
to end the show.
Yeah,
then.
it's time.
Have a
Yeah.
good night. Have a good
Yeah.
night, Paladin. Take it easy, Hebot, man.
Have a good night.
Yo,
Yeah.
Jacob, do you have a channel you want to shout out or anything?
No, I don't have a channel right now. I'm thinking about putting some videos up, but I'll think about it.
Well,
All
we
right,
appreciate having you guys on.
man. Yeah, man. Let us
Nah,
know.
I'm not
Thank you for
doing
having
a
me on the
channel
show,
yet
guys.
either. Thanks for having me on too.
All right, man.
Good
So, yeah,
podcast, guys, man. We covered a lot of shit, man. We had a good talk, man. That was good. I'm honestly, dude, I'd be a lot more active right now if I hadn't drank so much beer tonight. Like earlier when I started, I was all like, catching the buzz, and now I'm all like, oh shit, I'm hungry. I'm thinking about like some steak and shake burgers.
I could use some of those right now. Man. No good.
Oh my god, man. I'm thinking about a Cajun burger right now, as a matter of fact. So yeah, man. I enjoyed it, man. I'm Master Chief of 007, Xbox Uprising, man. Jay Long, appreciate you having us on, man. This is a good podcast, man. Good time. We gotta do it again. Appreciate you guys for jumping in, man, and the things that y'all added too, for real.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Good show, man. 3 hours long.
Thank you, Jay Long, for having me again, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, hit us up on Xbox Live, man. We can game together. And Jaylon, if you want, hit me up on a party in a little while. I'll probably be back in about 30 minutes.
All right.
So yeah,
I'm about to
hit me
go
up
to
on a
bed,
party.
but I'm gonna hit y'all my Twitter because that hits up to my Xbox Live too. So y'all hit me on there, and y'all can see me troll these. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Y'all can see me troll these ponies on a regular.
My Twitter, I believe, is the same as my channel name. If anyone made it this far, follow my Twitter. I don't really post.
I am all about trolling ponies.
Yo, Jacob, do you have a Twitter or anything?
Nah, man. I need to make one.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Still kind of new to the YouTube community.
I just subscribe to you just in case you ever do something. I'd love to. So yeah.
All right, man. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Jay, I don't know if I'm sub to you yet.
Oh man, you don't need to sub to me yet, because the only time I do shit is if someone brings me in or something like that. I prefer, man, to troll with the community. Like I told Showstopper on a tweet, I'm here to help y'all back up against these ponies, man, because someone's gotta run that army.
How about this? You hit me up on Xbox Live and you help me troll some of these noobs on Halo, man.
Oh, I hit you up on there, man. My Twitter is the same as my Xbox Live gamer tag, bro.
Blackhawk.
All right.
Yeah, Blackhawk111 or Sentry /Delta87, or you can find me at Armored Sentry. I have 3 different Xbox Live accounts.
All right, well, you guys, man.
1111.
Yeah, 4 ones.
Trevor Hayner. Oh,
yep.
No, 4 ones.
No, you're right. That was it.
Trevor Hayner.
Or you can find me. I just have another one that's called Blackhawk 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my Xbox Live in the chat.
Blackhawk.
Like I said, if you follow the Twitter though, man, with that, it links up to everything because I'm on there all the time.
Wait, so you're Blackhawk 11193?
No, 993 is just 111. You found it. You said Trevor Hayden.
That was you?
Yeah, I said yeah.
93.
My
Okay,
bad. Like I said,
yeah,
I
I
have
guess I go,
multiple
man.
accounts.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. Good night.
No problem.
All right, yeah. You guys have a good night, man. Take it easy.
Later, dude.
All right, later.
Later.